It's colder. If your furnace isn't working, Air Comfort Service can get you back in your comfort zone fast with a service call for only $99. Get your furnace serviced. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Participate in that corruption, and that's good on his character. And it's fascinating to me that Democrats are so focused on tying the President of the United States up in this, when it's clear, if you look at the files, Jeffrey Epstein hated the President of the United States, and the President of the United States didn't care for Jeffrey Epstein. Doesn't that actually mean something good about the president when one of the worst people in the world thinks that he was a bad guy? I certainly think it does.
So the vice president of the United States, they're saying it looks like Donald Trump might be the good guy after the Epstein Files have been released. Of course, what was it, 3 million emails or files that have been released in this last end of January release. Now, there are a lot of redactions. You see a lot of different people going from Congress, going back to a SCIF to try to look at the unredacted files. So there will be more secrecy that is involved in the story as it continues to be reported. But of course, Emma Colton yesterday published a story on FoxNews.com. President Donald Trump allegedly called the Palm Beach, Florida Police Department in the mid-2000s to thank them for investigating Jeffrey Epstein, while simultaneously warning them to stay focused on, quote, evil Ghislaine Maxwell, according to an FBI document recapping an interview with the local department's former chief. So that's one of the revelations that have come out in the much highly demanded Epstein Files. The Democrats have fought long and hard to get these Epstein Files released for the people after Donald Trump became the president. Where was this? Where was the outrage during the 4 years when they could have been like, hey, Joe Biden, Epstein Files, ship them this way? Joe Biden would say, what?
Jack? Who, Jack?
Shut up, fat. So there was this opportunity, of course, with the president in their in the Biden years, president. And they didn't care then. I really think that we're potentially, if I had boredom in my life, and unfortunately I have none because I've got these 4 kids to maintain their schedules. But if I had a certain amount of free time in my life, I would figure out maybe like Epstein file Google searches or whatever, and see if when Elon Musk and Donald Trump had their little tiff, which, as you recall, if you've been following the show, was when I went to Hawaii. That all fell apart. Which representative was it recently that was talking about Hawaii not being part of the country? I left the country and went to Hawaii. I have to laugh because
no, it was Sotomayor.
Oh, hell. That's even worse.
Supreme Court Justice.
I left the country to go to Hawaii, tropical Hawaii. Someone's going to quote me on that someday. I'll run for office, and they'll be like, she doesn't even think Hawaii is. I hope they get the Sotomayor part. I hope you at least get credit for knowing that, Ryan.
I sure hope so.
Elon Musk, Donald Trump, have a tiff. Elon Musk is like, Trump's name's all over the Epstein Files. Well, his name is in the Epstein Files. I don't know that you can be the pillar of a businessman and the public figure that Donald Trump was and really avoid being in the Epstein Files. There's like a certain level of publicity that you have right now. The first name I bet you're searching in the Epstein Files is yours. Because there's a lot of people who are going to get, you could just be discussed. I've been looking through the Epstein Files. There are a lot of news reports that are in the Epstein Files. So Eric Schmitt is going to be on the show with us at 1:00. There are a lot of reports. They're just like news reports. Missouri Attorney General, Eric Schmitt, this, that, and the other thing. But they're just news reports. So you're combing through these Epstein Files and you're trying to look for something, and you hear, like, if you search Trump and it returns a certain amount of results, if you dig deep into these results, at least the ones that have been made public so far, Epstein hates Trump. Trump hates Epstein. They are not in cahoots with one another. So the Democrats, I want to know those Google searches. When Elon Musk and Donald Trump had their tiff, which the 4 and 5D chess players suggest that maybe this was all contrived and on purpose. This is the Epstein Files is where they suggest that the 4 5D chess comes into play. They have a fight. Elon Musk says Trump's name is all over the Epstein Files. The Democrats are like, because they're like the dog from the movie Up, where it's a squirrel. They just run towards the Epstein Files. They demand that they're out. And the fallout's not looking so great for Democrats as a whole. So now the Epstein Files are revealed, and they don't have anything on President Trump yet. Is it possible that something comes out? I guess everything's possible. But Donald Trump has been consistent on the issue of Jeffrey Epstein before it was an issue that any of us were even talking about. And it's now on record that in 2005 it was, he's like, this guy's a creep. Thank you for investigating him. Ghislaine Maxwell, she's evil. 20 years ago, this guy is saying this. It really, to me, is more about his intuition and his guts and his willingness to do the right thing when other people aren't. Now, I know that'll make the lefties fall off their chair, but our YouTube poll for you today, and the one we want you to give us feedback both in the chat there on the Annie Frey YouTube channel, but also on our text line. Have you put this number in your phone yet? I hope you have. Save it. You can save it as Annie Frey Text. It's not my personal number, but you can text us during the show to 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797. Has President Trump been exonerated in the Epstein Files? Do you think Trump has achieved that exoneration that he would probably say that he certainly has? And J.D. Vance there is kind of saying that he has. It's not a yes or no question today. It's yes, not yet, or no, it's the opposite. So go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and vote. We will reveal those results of you, the Annie Frey audience, at about 2:55. This is a super packed show today. We are all over the place in all of the right ways. Michelle Tafoya, potentially the next senator from Minnesota. Would that be something? She's going to be with us in 10 minutes from right now, a little bit less than 10 minutes. She is a candidate for the United States Senate in Minnesota, of course, the host of the Michelle Tafoya podcast. We've had her on the show a couple of times, usually talking about something that has to do with sports athletics, but she's a very common sense person, would be an incredible, incredible upgrade in Minnesota in that Senate seat. And I think she has certainly the backing and the chops to potentially pull off this win. We've talked with our friend Dustin Grage, who is a grassroots reporter, a town hall contributor in Minnesota, and he's very high on the possibility that Minnesota is going to look a little bit different in these midterm elections. Now, clean the voter rolls and expose the fraud that is there. Make sure that only the people who are supposed to be voting, the citizens, that they're the ones voting. And definitely in Minnesota, there's a shot, which means Michelle Tafoya could really, really make some serious waves if she were to win that Minnesota Senate seat. So we'll talk to her at 12:18. The 1 o'clock hour, I would say it's a little bit of Missouri Hall of Fame caliber, starting at 1:05 with Senator Eric Schmitt. We're going to talk to him about his Protect America Act. Now, if you haven't heard President, getting a little ahead of myself there.
Go ahead.
Senator Schmitt.
I will allow it.
I will too. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Make it so.
Well, we'll ask.
Make it so from Star Wars?
Yeah.
So Senator Eric Schmitt's Protect America Act has 4 pillars to it, and we're going to get into the details with Senator Schmitt. The 4 pillars to the Protect America Act with Senator Eric Schmitt, the first one being ending sanctuary cities. Check. Second pillar being enhanced penalties for illegal entry and re-entry. Check, check. Third one, protect law enforcement, including the SHIELD Act, which is shielding heroes in enforcement from loud disruptions. Love it. Check, check, check. And the last one, Ryan, this one's for you. Defund rogue NGOs.
Oh, my gosh.
Targeting and defunding of non-governmental organizations accused of supporting criminal activity, shielding illegal actions, inciting violence against law enforcement, or obstructing federal immigration enforcement.
It's actually the 6th love language.
It is. Actually, I think it's your first.
It's going into Valentine's Day weekend. I think we can
Tell
all
me
feel
more,
that.
honey.
Little pillow talk.
Say NGO again.
No, but say it this time with the word defund in front
Guys,
of it.
it's just the Valentine's Day week. We're just setting the mood.
Oh, I'm in a mood now.
Will you do a commercial for the Protect America Act a la in the Valentine's Day theme for Friday?
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to listen to the interview.
It will either get us a weekly interview with Senator Eric Schmitt, or he will never speak to us again.
I want to hear the interview, and then I'll say yes or no.
Talk NGOs to me.
Please open it with that.
No,
I'm ready.
I'm not. I already have the dumbest
grab that
picture that has
audio.
ever been taken of me on the front page of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch when Eric Schmitt, I guess it was when he won the primary, or when he was the primary, right? Which essentially meant he was going to win the seat.
Look, when you're right, you're right.
When I was in his office to interview him when I went to DC last April, I said something like, "That's the worst picture I've ever taken." He goes, "I've got it saved right over there." I'm like, "I don't need
Was
to
it
know
on the
that."
wall?
No, I don't know. I didn't look. I was too afraid.
Oh, that's great.
Don't look it up, people. I was there for a very important moment in Senator Eric Schmitt's life, and I wish it didn't happen.
I can tell you one thing that is for sure true.
Mm-hmm.
Brad and I both keep copies of that on hand just in case.
Brad made wrapping paper out of it.
Oh, yeah.
It's in I might have thrown it away. I don't know. I don't even want
Don't
to talk
worry, we
about
still
it.
have it.
Shut
Hanging on
up.
the
I'm
wall.
not done with the lineup today, guys. We're moving on. I think it is. The Missouri Attorney General, Catherine Hanaway, on with us at 1:30. She's suing the Basic Athletic Association for Missouri high schools over discrimination. I am in on this. So Catherine Hanaway will join us at 1:30. And then Jack Posobiec at 2:05 is going to come on the show. He is one of the leads, one of the very foundational members of getting that halftime show put together with Turning Point. Very close friend of Charlie Kirk, of course, a coworker, I would say, of his, but much more than that. Jack Posobiec is going to join us at 2:05. So we've got Michelle Tafoya next, Senator Eric Schmitt, and Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway in the 1 o'clock hour, and in the 2 o'clock hour to start it off, Jack Posobiec. We'll take a quick break right now. Join us on the YouTube for the vote in the poll, which is located in the live chat of the current live broadcast. Has President Trump been exonerated in the Epstein Files? Text your thoughts to 314-241-9797. And a reminder, if today's the day that you want to listen to the whole show and you're going to make a point to do it, you can bring us with you on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. Download the Odyssey app, find 97.1 FM Talk, find the Annie Fry Show, FREY. Let us keep you company throughout the afternoon. Michelle Tafoya on the Annie Fry Show next. All right, Home Shield Foundation Repairs.com is the website. Wet season is going to be here before you know it. The storm season where we get those, how do you say in the Midwest? Gully washers of a rainstorm. It comes in, it comes fast, and that water makes its way into your basement. Not for long. When you call Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repair, 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. You're going to connect with somebody who can provide you a solution, one that's going to be the right investment, not an overpaying, not some sort of, big conglomerate. Somebody swooped in and bought all these companies, and now you're just going to do what they do across the country. No, that's not how it works. Home Shield Foundation Repair is Matt Hayes and Matt Hayes' family, because it's a St. Louis locally owned foundation repair company that you can rely on. 314-271-9900. Get that wet basement fixed once and for all and get on the schedule before the rainy season sets in. Call them at 314-271-9900. HomeShieldFoundationRepairs.com.
It's not pleasant to hear it, but Missouri is falling behind in its spending of state tax dollars, education, and health care. But there are ways to get Missouri moving forward again and produce a better life for all of us. That's why we at the Show Me Institute put together a 2026 Missouri Blueprint, a roadmap on how the state can move to a brighter future. The blueprint covers policy ideas from taxes to government transparency, from education to healthcare and budget reform. Let's allow students to attend the school of their choice. Let's adopt new proven methods to help the many school kids who can barely read. Let's limit state spending growth for Missouri's long-term financial stability. And let's invest in future needs with more nuclear energy. Why not common sense reforms to make things better for all Missourians? Check out our 2026 Missouri Blueprint, moving Missouri forward at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's best eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
We're talking about billions and billions and billions of dollars. It is an ungodly sum of money. It's money leaving the country in suitcases, literally stashed into suitcases, taken in airports, taken overseas. We're talking about a systemic problem here, particularly in these blue states, where the taxpayers is being robbed blind. You got to feel like if you work hard and pay taxes in this country, you're just getting ripped off left, right, and center.
So there you have our senator here in the state of Missouri, Josh Hawley, talking about the fraud that is existing currently in blue states. What are we going to do about that? How are we going to get to the bottom of it, root it out, and make sure that it doesn't happen any longer, that the federal taxpayer isn't being taken advantage? And let's also pay attention to the Minnesota taxpayer to make sure they're not being taken advantage of any longer either. Michelle Tafoya has something to say about that, and that's why she's running for the United States Senate in Minnesota, and she's back with us on the Annie Fry Show. Michelle, thank you so much for the time to talk to you today about this Senate campaign. We're really excited to hear about it.
Oh, thank you. And thanks for the opportunity, Annie.
Of course. You've got kind of that outsider coming into the swamp, I guess, perspective as a Minnesota resident. What makes you want to dive headfirst into the swamp, into the United States Senate?
Well, you just played a soundbite from Josh Hawley that is critically important. We are on the cutting edge here in Minnesota of fraud, taxpayer fraud. Money that taxpayers earned and entrusted our government with has been stolen from them. And I would urge anyone in your area, anywhere in the United States of America, to kind of review their pay stub now and then and ask themselves where all those tax dollars are going. And when you find out that just here in the state of Minnesota, at least, and I underscore that, at least $9 billion of it went to fraud, went to pay for lakefront properties, jewelry, cars, exotic vacations at the hands of these criminals who managed to get the government to go along, our government, Tim Walz and company, to go along with this. Now, we know it's not limited to Minnesota, but the fact that it happened here in my state enrages me no end. And the fact that we are pretty darn certain that our governor, our attorney general, and our lieutenant governor knew all of this was going on.
Yeah, I've asked that question to several guests over the last probably 4 to 6 weeks. Like, what's worse, a governor, senators, mayors who knew this was happening and didn't do anything about it, or where all of this was happening under their nose and they had no clue? You think it's both, or which is worse here?
Which is worse? No, I think I don't think that much money can change hands without people knowing, right? I mean, if it's a few bucks here and there, you maybe cite it, you attach that to oversight or just not paying attention. But this is billions and billions of dollars, and this is money that was supposed to be going toward kids' meals, to autistic centers, to child care centers, to adult daycare centers. And, for people who know the name Nick Shirley, this independent journalist kid in his early 20s came to Minnesota and went around and exposed all of this. It was within a matter of days that our governor, Tim Walz, said, you know what? I guess I won't run for that third term. They knew he was up to his neck in it, and he had to step aside. And now, as a lame duck governor with nothing further to work for, he is just kind of torching Minnesota on the way out.
It sucks to see it. Michelle Tafoya speaking with us right now, candidate for the United States Senate in Minnesota. You also are host of the Michelle Tafoya podcast. People can learn more about your campaign at michelletafoya.com. I'm thinking to myself, Michelle, I live across the river here in the state of Illinois. So I work in St. Louis. This is a red state. We've got two great senators in the state of Missouri. Yeah. Illinois, you just, when kind of the grassroots of what's going on in your state, and then it becomes national news. J.B. Pritzker has done that for the blue state of Illinois. You're like, will somebody please do something about this now? What's it like for Minnesota? I'm sure you've been very connected to what has been happening there for quite some time. What's it like for Minnesota to kind of be front and center on this stage right now? Do we lose her? I don't want to lose her. I'm going to put her on hold. I don't know if we're experiencing a technical issue here. Can you, Ethan, can you check and see if she's on hold there? Michelle Tafoya speaking with us and MichelleTafoya.com. Let's do this. Can you go to a break? Can we go to a break right now? We can't go to a break. Are we potentially crashing?
There's some big technical problems that are outside of
a lot
Brad
is going
range.
on. Brad, will you call Elon Musk? We need a little bit of Starlink here.
Well, you know what this is. This is Minnesota being afraid.
I think it's Tim Walz.
And finding a way to shut down
the Annie Fresh Show.
Well, this is
Brad,
fun.
You can go. Ryan and I will take it from here, but you can go talk to whoever you need to talk to about Michelle Tafoya, who's like the senators in Minnesota right now. One of them being Snow Woman.
Yeah, Klobuchar.
When I see her, and I think all I think about is Klobuchar's run for president in the Democrat primary, and she is going from place to place to place. Now, listen, you're going to have a stump speech when you're campaigning for something. You're going to have, you're going to play the hits. That's what they would say. But the hits can't be the same joke every time, and you can't laugh at the joke every time the same way. You can't do it.
Well, no, you can. but in the age that we're in, it will be used against you because it's literally the only thing that you think of, or at least I think of and you think of, when you hear her name, Klobuchar. Is she the same one with the comb?
Yes, she is. Is she back? We've got Michelle Tafoya back. Oh, man, we've got her back. I think there are aliens involved. Either that or we think Tim Walz is playing with the line here.
That's what I think. I think Tim Walz and Peggy Flanagan cut the line somewhere along the way.
Yeah, well, we're back, and we're going to, you know how it is to do live television, live radio. You just roll with it. It's part of the deal. It's
part of the deal.
Grateful to have you back. We're speaking with Michelle Tafoya, the candidate for United States Senate in Minnesota. MichelleTafoya.com if you want to learn more about her campaign, potentially support it. I think it would be $1 well invested.
Thank you.
So let me talk to you. This is what I always want, like when I've got my Illinois grassroots hat on, I'm always like, there's so much good about Illinois. I'd imagine there's so much good about Minnesota. And it's not ever being talked about. And when you become the senator from Minnesota, those are the things you're going to need to champion. Tell us about the goodness of Minnesota.
I moved here over 32 years ago, and I've raised my family here, married my husband, who's a gopher through and through. When I moved here, and really only until about 10 years ago, the lakes are beautiful. The seasons, as you know, are beautiful. The people are wonderful. We used to boast some of the most excellent schools in the nation. We can't do that anymore. Less than 50% of our kids are reading or doing math at grade level. Now, I know that's a problem in a number of places, but let's look at Mississippi, who used to struggle with academics. They're now setting the pace for all of us. It's been brutal, and people keep throwing money at the problem, and the scores keep going down. Crime is up here in Minnesota while incarcerations are down. We've got these left-leaning judges who are just not holding people accountable. The leadership here has gone from really strong Arnie Carlson, Tim Pawlenty, Norm Coleman type leadership to Tim Walz, who we know is a complete leftist, if not a Marxist. And so it's really been tragic. We've lost a lot of our residents who have gone to more friendly climes, and have escaped the incredibly high taxes that have been imposed on us. Those taxes should make people even more angry, given that all of this money has gone to these two-bit criminals who have spent it. So there is so much to love about Minnesota. Some great companies, Target, it's General Mills. I could go on, but I'm telling you that certain companies are leaving. the political climate, the tax environment for businesses, not friendly. We've got to turn it around, and we really believe we have a chance to do that.
Yeah, I think Minnesota right now, I've had some conversations with some grassroots reporters from Minnesota through the fraud headlines and, of course, the ICE situations, the protest situations. There seems to be a bit of a sentiment that, like, right now people are leaning into this moment, and they would really like to see a pivot, a significant pivot for the state of Minnesota. Do you think that right now is a time where a Republican can actually win a Senate seat in Minnesota?
I do. Otherwise, I wouldn't be running. I looked at this race for a long time. I knew close to a year ago that Tina Smith was going to vacate the seat. And I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. I have put that much thought into this, and I lately just became convinced we can do this with the right candidate. You know, I've survived a lot of high-pressure environments, and you can say, being on a Super Bowl sideline in front of millions and millions of viewers having to deliver under pressure, those kind of situations I'm built for. So I feel like we're built for this moment. I know there are a lot of frustrated Minnesotans because of the current climate and because of the taxes and because of the fraud. So, yes, there are people who I think are willing to step across the aisle, and certainly independents are willing to vote. So I wouldn't be in this if I didn't firmly believe we could win.
Michelle Tafoya is speaking with us. Last question. You're painting a really beautiful picture of the state of Minnesota, and I always think it's important to give people running for office or even representing in elective office the opportunity to talk about the positives, because they so rarely become part of the discussion. Those protests that are national news, we see the agitators there, some tragic deaths that have happened because of the emotions that have been stoked therein against ICE with the protesters. I'm curious how much you believe there is outside agitation, outside funding, descending upon Minnesota there, Minneapolis. Here in St. Louis, Ferguson, that's a stone's throw from where I'm sitting right now. So it's kind of the genesis of that. And, you know, we had people associated with our radio station who were there on the ground covering it. And you just knew that this was not St. Louis. This was not Ferguson. And it kind of takes on a life of its own. Do you feel like there's a lot of outside influence trying to turn Minnesota inside out?
You know, we often hear the name George Soros.
Yep.
I want to present another name. The other name is Neville Royce Singham, born in the United States, now living in China and protected over there in spite of some very shady dealings he was involved with. There's been a lot of research and journalism done around this guy that he is pouring tons of money, not just into the Minnesota protests, but in protests all around the country. There are people who don't like this country, and I'm putting that very nicely, and they want to see it torn from the inside out. And so they will pay for these protests to happen. There have been some very well-organized protests here. I know there's been some organic, and believe me, the 2 deaths here, they shouldn't have happened. I ache for those families. I truly do. They shouldn't have happened. But had Tim Walz and our Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey assisted these federal law enforcement agents from the get-go, provided crowd control, and done the bare minimum, these things likely would not have happened.
Yeah.
But the chaos was, in part, I think the fans were flamed by the resistance to this. Thank you, Mayor Jacob Frey and Governor Tim Walz. The resistance. I've talked to law enforcement leadership. They have said if we had been allowed to assist, these things likely would not have happened. So you have to put the blame on our, I don't like to say leadership, our lack of leadership as well.
Yeah, that's well said, very much so. Michelle Tafoya, we're going to watch your campaign. We're rooting for you down here in the lower part of the Midwest. We had a conversation about this. Does Minnesota consider themselves Midwest?
Oh, yeah. I think we call ourselves Upper Midwest.
Upper Midwest. Well, we are happy Midwesterners with you. We say "ope" a lot, and we eat a lot of casseroles. All the good things. Love to talk to fellow Midwesterners. We appreciate
Love
that.
it. Thank you, Annie. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Please come back. Talk to you again soon.
Will do.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. MichelleTafoya.com will not be stopped by internet crashing in the middle of an interview. We love talking to her, have loved talking to her about other issues that we have come up upon. She's talking right there about covering a Super Bowl. She has had an incredible career. And honestly, no reason to have point of pleasure to talk to her about this, but I actually got my communications degree in television radio so that I could be a sideline reporter. Like, what she did and did so successfully is what I originally got into media to be. And then here I am, and now here she is. This is pretty incredible. I would love to see her win that seat in Minnesota. She'd be so welcomed in the Senate, at least as far as this fellow Midwesterner is concerned. Candidate for United States Senate in Minnesota, Michelle Tafoya, michelletafoya.com. Quick break. We got Wiggins America coming up in about 14 minutes or so. And Eric Schmitt and Catherine Hanaway, 1 o'clock and 1:30. We've got great guests lined up for you throughout the course of the entire day. And Jack Posobiec back on the Annie Fry Show at 2:05. We're going to talk about that halftime show. I know I said I wasn't going to, but then Jack said he'd come on the show. So you're darn right I'm going to talk about it. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Announced significant increases on their monthly premiums for 2026, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Greg Hammond's Freedom of Choice plans now. You don't have to wait. One of their plans lets you use any doctor, has 0 outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower costs than most Obamacare plans. Other options are full coverage PPOs with national networks, copays, and 100% annual preventative care. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg and they'll provide all available options. Call 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan chosen by you, not the government.
Most people spend decades saving for retirement, but few ever learn how to turn those savings into lasting income. And that's where Financial and Tax Architects comes in. They help people across St. Louis work to protect their life savings, minimize taxes, and retire with confidence. Now, they do a Retirement Planning 101 class, and it shows you exactly what others often miss: how to avoid hidden tax traps in your 401k or IRA, and how to make smarter decisions about Social Security. Now, this is a one-night, 2.5-hour, no-cost educational event. Seats fill up fast. And at FTA, they like to say that financial peace of mind in retirement is all about income. Lose the job and keep the paycheck. That's exactly what FTA will help you do. So if you're within 10 years of retirement or already retired, you can't afford to miss it. Call 314-888-5101 or go to fta-ria.com and reserve your seat now.
Triton Exteriors, St. Louis roofing, siding, and gutter systems. We'll take care of you and your home. We're #1 in the Ladue, Kirkwood, and Webster area. James Hardy certified. Visit triton.stl.com to be connected with a James Hardy expert and receive a free estimate. Triton-stl.com or call 314-717-1159. That's 314-717-1159. Triton Exteriors, St. Louis #1 James Hardy specialists.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
At LendSeek, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you with our exclusive AI lending platform, connecting you to over 100 funders. If you've been in business for at least 2 years with a minimum annual revenue of $500,000, you can get up to $1 million in funding in as fast as 24 hours. No collateral, no prepayment penalties, no red tape. Apply today with no cost or obligation at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
2 St. Louis icons, 1 legendary tribute. Join the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra and St. Louis City SC at Powell Hall on Sunday, February 15th for Eternal, a tribute to Tina Turner. Presented by Purina. with performances by special guests including conductor Anthony Partner, Grammy Award-winning artist Brittany Howard of Alabama Shakes, and our city's own Kennedy Holmes. This is your chance to experience the ultimate journey through Tina's immortal catalog. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at slso.org.
Every day we do a YouTube live chat poll. The question for you today is, has President Trump been exonerated in the Epstein Files? Yes, not yet, or no, the opposite is true. Those are your three options to vote today. If you want to text in 314-241-9797, and we can see your comments on this poll beyond just the vote. This person says, I don't believe that we needed the Epstein Files to see that Trump wasn't in there in any bad light. If there was any smoke there, the Dems would have definitely went after that during the Biden administration. Very, very true. Good point. 12:38. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Still leading 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
On Thursday, President Trump will be joined by Administrator Lee Zeldin to formalize the rescission of the 2009 Obama-era endangerment finding. This will be the largest deregulatory action in American history, and it will save the American people $1.3 trillion in crushing regulations. The bulk of the savings will stem from reduced costs for new vehicles, with the EPA projecting average per vehicle savings of more than $2,400 for popular light-duty cars, SUVs, and trucks. This is just one more way this administration is working to make life more affordable for everyday Americans. Overall, these groundbreaking actions from President Trump will drive larger economic growth, create thousands of good-paying jobs, expand manufacturing, increase consumer choice, and improve affordability for millions of families and businesses.
Well, other people, smarter people than me, are pretty pumped about this. I keep seeing articles that have that button on your car, the auto start stop button. You guys, neither one of you guys have that button, right?
No, I would disable it.
Well, you can. I have a huge complaint about this button. So the auto start stop, you're at a stoplight and you're stopped. So your engine turns off. And then when you engage the idle or the gas pedal, it turns back on. It does not bother me the way it bothers everybody else, but it bothers people in a big way. The problem that I have is that the auto start stop is on. You can turn it off. But the button has an A for automatic, and then it's got like a circle that goes around the A with an arrow, and it's got a light on it. And the bottom of the button says off. So in order to turn it off, I have to turn the light on. And that makes me mad.
Oh, man.
I sit there and I look at it, I'm like, What is it? Why am I turning a light on to turn the sucker off? So actually, it's not so much the function of the car. I couldn't care less. It doesn't bother me. It grates at people. People hate that button, the auto start stop. I don't like that to turn something off, I have to turn a light on.
Okay, that was a long way around, but I do follow you. Let me ask you this.
I'll talk slower next time.
Does it save a lot of money? Brad, you would know.
No. I mean, when you talk about gas, it does.
Gas.
It's supposed to be emissions.
But here's the thing.
You see, you don't have a bunch of people sitting around idling, puffing, smoking crap into the air.
The same part that starts your car in the morning is the same part that starts that car every time you stop. So you are getting maybe 10 to 20 times more use out of your starter, and starters go out way faster. And the other thing is, too, whenever your engine isn't running, your air conditioner compressor isn't doing its thing. So your air conditioning doesn't work. So any cool air comes out is just residual. And eventually that'll go away on a really hot day and it'll start blowing like warm air out at you.
It's not really eventually. It's almost immediate.
Is it?
You'd be sitting in a stoplight and it's like, why is it hot in here? So you just take your foot off the brake, let the idle kick in, and you're back.
Or
you turn the light on to turn the freaking thing off. Oh my gosh, why is this happening?
The other thing that's interesting, have you noticed how much bigger trucks are nowadays? Like
No.
just physically larger.
Okay.
Then like right now, the new Ranger is the same size as my F-250 from '96.
Yeah, it does not feel mid-size.
It's because of these regulations, these Obama era regulations. They couldn't make the trucks meet the emission standards that Obama set forth in these regulations. So they had to increase the size of the vehicle so that they
sell
had
it for more,
to have different emission regulations. So it didn't actually do what they wanted it to do. It just made vehicles more expensive.
We're going to have Wiggins America coming up here, but that auto start stop thing, that's probably supposed to be going away. It's still going to be on my car. I want Donald Trump in my car removing that thing. I don't even care if he removes it. Just make the light go off when the thing goes off.
I want him in my car singing Michael Stipe songs.
Dancing like this. Punch, 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 punch.
That's me in the corner.
That's me in the...
Or YMCA. He could do that too.
I mean, would you tell him what to do?
Heck no.
Other than get your butt in my car,
As
man.
long as he's in my car, we're just going joyriding.
Wiggins America next. Ways to trick people into thinking you're more confident than you actually are.
That's what it is.
I do not feel fooled
This
yet.
will make you more attractive.
Based on what women find attractive? Make
Yes.
me more attractive?
No. It will make you
Folks,
as the
go
listener.
read the comments on the Annie Fry Show Facebook page. I'm blonde. I'm sorry. I don't color my hair. Haven't colored it for almost 10 years. Yet the hair bleach is, I think, seeping into my brainstem is one of the things that people said.
Over and over.
Over and over. Yeah, I haven't had Botox, haven't had fillers. Maybe I need it. They say I have a filter on my face. I don't have a filter on my face. I use good makeup. It's Revlon.
Brad, this is a good video right here.
Thank you. Yeah. Comment on my looks down below. Thank you. I'm 41.
This one's going viral.
Comment on my looks. Tell me how ugly and fat I am. It's good for my, what is the next segment called? Ways to make people think you're more confident than you actually are. Back in a minute. Point Pest Control. Point with an E. They cannot get rid of the pests in the comment section, but they can get rid of the pests in your home. Point Pest Control, 636-798-0023. 636-798-0023. Completely, totally, fully stand behind being a paying subscriber to the Point Pest Control services at my house. 4 times a year, they come out to my home. They treat the home on the inside and the outside. As I said yesterday, sometimes it's just on the outside. Kind of depends on what our needs are at that given moment. Yeah, here's another thing I'm going to tell you. They do not care if you haven't cleaned your house meticulously when they come over to do what they do. They're just going to take care of business. They're incredibly kind people, and they get rid of the pests. I do not ever, if I go the rest of my life and never see a spider again, it'll be too soon. I don't want them. I don't like them. I don't have them because I have Point Pest Control. And if you throw my name out there when you call them at 636-798-0023, you're going to save an extra 10% off the top. Point with an E, pointpestcontrol.com.
It's Mark Reardon. Fish Fry Fridays are here again, and you know what that means. Join us for our Fish Fry Friday kickoff at Fish Fest. The crew will be live February 20th at Holy Trinity Serbian Orthodox Church. See the menu and learn more at 971talk.com/events.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. My best advice to you when hiring a lawyer for your injury case is simple. If you know court personnel, ask them who they'd hire. They know. If you know an insurance adjuster, ask them. They know. And then ask them about us. Ask them about Morgan & Morgan. They know. I look forward to talking to you soon. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, for the people. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
February 13th, 14th, and 15th. It's the semi-annual Missouri Arms Collectors Gun Show at the Arnold Eagles Hall in Arnold, Missouri. Browse tables of firearms, ammo, knives, books, and military items. Buy, sell, or trade. Admission's only $10. Kids under 12 free with a paid adult, and parking is free. Don't miss the semi-annual Missouri Arms Collectors Gun Show at the Arnold Eagles Hall on 1725 Jeffco Boulevard. For complete info, visit MissouriArms.com. The Missouri Arms Collectors Association is a not-for-profit NRA-affiliated club.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Wiggins!
Oh! Wiggins!
Yeah, it's Wiggins America. This is ways to trick people and think you're more confident than you are.
And you sound like the combination of the Micro Machine Guy and Globo Jim.
What's Globo Jim? Oh,
from Dodgeball.
Yeah, Cobras, man.
I was going for Micro Machines Guy and Macho Man Randy Salvaje. But I guess I missed the mark.
I don't know. I know Randy Newman. I was trying to think of a Randy that I knew.
You mispronounced Savage.
Oh, Randy Savage?
Yeah.
He said Salvaje.
just kind of went with it. I didn't realize. Randy.
I said Macho Man. Randy.
Are we talking 80s wrestling or
yes,
something?
We're talking 80s wrestling.
Well, I was into Cabbage Patch Kids and Big Wheels, so
I'll do that next time. I'll try to be a Cabbage Patch Big Wheel guy.
I know Randy Savaje. Go on.
Okay. These are ways to trick people into thinking you're more confident than you are based on our conversation on X's and Y's the last couple of
Destroyer,
weeks.
Executioner, Macho Man, Mr. Madness, Randy Poffo, Randy Savage, the Big Gino, the Spider. I don't like him.
The ladies in the room all said that confidence was the number one attribute to making you attractive.
Mm-hmm.
So these are ways that if you're not confident, you can appear to be confident and attractive.
Number one thing you need to know about confidence, though, is the line is definitive when you cross over into arrogance. And once you've done it, it's kind of hard to go back. So,
well, don't cross that line then, gentlemen. You just got to be confident by doing things like this. Number one, stand tall. Take up space.
Yeah.
And stand tall. Keep your shoulders back. Keep your spine straight. This is going to offer you a host of physical benefits, and it will make you look and feel more confident if you manspread.
That's not what it said, but that is true. But the same goes for women.
Stand tall and take up space?
Yeah, 100%.
Head up, shoulders back.
I'd be fine with that. Ladies. We're on the radio.
You gotta keep
all right,
going,
number
Ryan.
two. Number two.
She gone.
Make eye contact. Eye contact is crucial for increasing your perceived confidence. Without it, you'll appear scattered and inattentive.
Yes, but not too much.
Not too much. We've learned, because then it feels weird.
Yeah. Ryan, remember what HR told you.
It looks like you glitched out if you make too much eye contact. You still there, buddy? Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Number three, stay still. Fidgeting is a major betrayer of low confidence, and most of us fidget without even realizing it. I had somebody tell me recently that they taught their kids not to pop their knuckles.
Yeah, it's a total. Was it me?
No, it was not you.
I have a child that when they want something, they start messing with their hands. Knuckle popping can be part of it, but there's just like a fidget with their hands. And I'm always like, get to the point. What do you want? Oh, what do you mean, Mom?
So you see it coming with body language.
Oh, gosh, yes. But I want my child to know that they are doing this so that they don't do it in the future.
I pop my knuckles all the time, but I'm super confident. I just walk around, pop my knuckles like I'm getting ready to get in a fight. Yeah. Ready to go? Oh, okay. Just trying to heat up my personal pan pizza. All right, next one is...
Joe Lawler on YouTube says, never blink. Let her know you're locked in. G.I. Joe. I don't know.
Again, you're going to look like a robot. Speak slowly and clearly.
For the women.
Yeah.
So they can keep up.
Speaking too quickly or in a low tone of voice can make you appear less than confident. I don't think they mean low register like I'm speaking now. That gives you a ton of authority. They're talking about speaking softly.
How come we don't clip Ryan saying dumb stuff like this for him to get trashed on the internet?
That's all our YouTube channel would be.
I'm suggesting maybe there's a happy
Dumb
medium.
crap of mine?
Let's just clip him saying super arrogant things out of context so that he can get a little bit of the love.
That's fine. I want your followers
if you
on
don't,
Twitter to see it.
Right
Vanilla
now it's
Ice and Tom
Facebook.
Cotton.
They do both follow me. And John Cena.
John Cena.
Yeah.
Jessica Alba liked my post yesterday.
No, she didn't.
She did. It was really her.
No, it wasn't.
I'll explain later.
He said it was really her.
Oh, man.
I was super serious, guys.
John Cena does follow me on Twitter, but he also follows, I think, maybe 1 million people. So I'm one of them.
Okay.
I don't think he really
Cares?
maybe click that follow button. I don't know.
Allow for silences.
Yes. Amen to that.
There's nothing wrong with a little bit of silence. Too many people denounce awkward silence as an indicator of bad conversation.
No, it's a command of the moment.
It's actually a useful and necessary social tool. That is correct.
You can tell people who are uncomfortable with silence when they say when they uptalk, when they say like. It is, to me, a way to command a room because you're afraid of letting it go, like you won't get it back again. So it's kind of something that is it's a consideration of I don't feel like my place in this conversation is one where I can come in and out of it as I please.
Another way to command a room when you walk in is to have a tearaway shirt.
I knew that was going to be stupid.
And that's just for the guys. Number 6.
Yeah. Head up, chest out, ladies.
Just confident.
Tearaway shirt is number 6.
Set shoulders back.
Keep your hands visible. Your hands say a lot about you.
Hands up, chest out.
Nobody said chest out.
That's Brad's advice.
Right, shoulders back. Heads up, shoulders back.
Chest out.
That's fine.
Knees together. There's a song. It's called Father Abraham.
No, that is not part of that song.
The chest out isn't. Knees together is.
All right, kids,
Father
we're going to learn a song.
Abraham had many sons.
Wait a minute. That's
many
not a
sons
verse.
Said Father Abraham.
Yeah, that's all
I
fine.
am one of them, and so are you.
Whether you realize it or not.
So let's all praise the Lord. Right arm, Father Abraham. Okay, anyway.
It's like the hokey pokey, but Christian.
Exactly.
Keep your hands visible and marginally active in the conversation.
How we were supposed to be still.
And then the last one.
Don't do the Gavin Newsom, this thing. He has like a fist and a thumb kind of together with the fist but up, but he always, do you ever see him do this thing?
Oh, yeah.
And he does the two.
It's not quite Bill Clinton.
Why are you doing
But it's close. Yeah, he kind of like moves it back and forth like he's commanding a train.
I think it's a diversion to not listen to the dumb stuff he's saying.
The last one is take big steps. Don't take little steps around a room.
There's only one thing that can happen next, which is the voiceover from this segment and you implementing these things in the office to the unsuspecting sales team.
That'll happen right now.
Eric Schmitt, Catherine Hanaway, and the 1 o'clock hour, 2 o'clock hour kicks off with Jack Posobiec. Big show. Thanks for being with us. Don't go away.
Inviting you to join me September 30th as we discover the charm of Switzerland, Austria, and Germany with Colette Travel. Spend 4 nights in Bern and then 4 nights at the foot of the Alps in Innsbruck. From the cobblestone streets to the postcard-worthy mountain landscapes of the amazing Alps, we're going to explore the Swiss capital of Bern and lovely Lucerne, the Swiss paradise on the lake. We'll travel the Austrian countryside to Salzburg with a visit to Mozart's birthplace, and then Mirabel Gardens, featured in The Sound of Music. This and so much more. Colette handles all the details. The flights, the meals, the hotels, the local experiences. All you have to do is have the time of your life. Don't miss this trip. Meet me and the folks from Colette to learn more at the Lodge at De Pere, Tuesday, February 24th at 2 p.m. Call Colette at 800-581-8942 or go to 971talk.com/events for details.
Josh, I love you folks for showing up in full force to help grow the Annie Fry Show scholarship, to help local kids here in the St. Louis bi-state region access school choice, Lutheran school choice. If you have thought about a Lutheran education, I know a lot of people are doing registration right now for the next school year. I know people are like, oh my gosh, I have to do that in the spring. It's not even the spring for the next school year. Yep, you're going to want to jump in and see what Lutheran schools are available to you right now. Take a tour, go to an open house, learn what you need to learn to know how to make an educated decision. And remember that Lisa STL is there to help you make it more affordable. That's what our scholarship is for, and all of the other funds that they raise to help make sure that Lutheran education is accessible and affordable for everybody here in the bi-state region. 34 elementary schools, Lutheran elementary schools. Check out one, check out a few. They're all different, but I think you're going to love them. If you want to learn more about a Lutheran school near you, go to lisastl.org/Annie.
I got you something extra special for Valentine's Day.
Yeah?
How does a blow and go sound?
I like it.
Great. Air Comfort Service will be here on Monday.
Wait, what?
Our attic insulation is in bad shape. Air Comfort Service heating and cooling and insulation can top off our insulation with blow and go and make our home more energy efficient. We can save up to 30% on our energy bills.
I love it when you talk savings to me.
Schedule your blow and go attic installation from Air Comfort Service. Visit aircomfortservice.com/blow today.
At Graybar, we know your time is money. That's why our services go beyond parts and products. With kitting, pre-assembly, wire carts, and Graybar smart reels that keep you moving. We stage materials and manage logistics so you can spend less time sorting and more time installing. And with locations nationwide, we deliver when and where you need it, working to make your job easier every step of the way. Yep, Graybar does that.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Questions about grounded flights on Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Trump administration blaming Mexican cartel drone activity for a sudden closure of the airspace over parts of New Mexico for more than 8 hours. El Paso Mayor Bernard Johnson says there was no advanced warning.
All aviation operations were grounded, including emergency flights. This was a major and unnecessary disruption, one that has not occurred since 9/11.
The FAA's initial announcement was for a 10-day closure. Sources are now telling the Associated Press this stemmed from a dispute between the FAA and the Pentagon over a planned military test of a laser for shooting down cartel drones. So far, no confirmation of that. New dietary guidelines have arrived.
Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Department of Ag Secretary Brooke Rollins saying for decades, federal incentives have promoted low-quality, ultra-processed foods, sugar, toxins, and pharmaceutical intervention instead of healthy eating.
We have 10,000 ingredients in our food in this country, and all but 400 are illegal in Europe.
That those days are over.
The solution is so simple. It is eat real food.
And that the government is rolling out updated dietary guidelines, prioritizing whole nutrient-dense foods that nourishes the body, restores health and energy, and that getting our food right is not optional.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. Day 11 of the search for Nancy Guthrie, with investigators still pursuing leads after the FBI released surveillance footage of a man at her front door the morning she's believed to have disappeared. They're celebrating in Seattle.
Your Seahawks, Super Bowl 60 champion.
An event at Lumen Field just before a parade for the second Super Bowl win in franchise history. America is listening to Fox News.
This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Ben Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G coverage. What? Franklin wasn't even a president. Hang on to those Benjamins. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, to switch to an American wireless company that's truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Plenty of sunshine and those cooler temperatures right on track. In the 40s to near 50 for the high this afternoon. About 10 to 15 degrees cooler than yesterday. Tonight, some clouds move in, but all is dry. 33. Thursday, clouds and 47. Friday, sunny and 54. Rain moving in late Saturday and especially Saturday night into Sunday morning. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. If your furnace breaks down, call Air Comfort Service for a $99 call. And don't forget, if your furnace breaks, even on a weekend, Air Comfort Service offers 24/7 emergency service. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
The racial breakdown? Okay, what's the racial breakdown on this, right? Because I think a lot of people make the argument that people of color, non-white Americans, have a harder time procuring a photo ID to vote. But even here, take a look here. Favorite photo ID to vote. 85% of white people favor it. 82% of Latino. 76% of black Americans favor it. So the bottom line is this. Voter ID is not controversial in this country. A photo ID to vote is not controversial in this country. It is not controversial by party, and it is not controversial by race. The vast majority of Americans agree with Nicki Minaj that, in fact, you should have a photo ID to be able to vote.
The vast majority of Americans agree with Nicki Minaj. What a statement that we see there from Harry Enton of CNN, giving those details on who actually does support this idea to have a voter ID to show identification that you in fact are a United States citizen. It's already the law. We're just asking that you prove that you are who you say you are when you vote. And it's also a bit telling, wouldn't you say? The people who don't want this to happen, there's a kind of a consistency to who those people are. What's so scary about having somebody present that ID that shows you, yeah, in fact, I am a citizen? The other thing that they're saying right now is it's a sexist endeavor because women are going to have to procure basically a birth certificate to prove that their new last name is as such. Here's Speaker Johnson.
The question is often asked by pollsters, and the polling consistently shows 80 to 90% of Americans believe that proof of citizenship and proof of a valid ID should be required to vote. And there are a few issues in American politics that have that level of bipartisan support. This is one of them. The issue has so much support because it's just common sense.
So Speaker Johnson weighing in as well, saying, yeah, this is common sense. And I think it is. And you could ask every demographic, and it seems as though a majority of folks, maybe just not Democrats in Capitol Hill, maybe that's the Democrat, or maybe that's the demographic that doesn't actually agree with it. Let's talk to our friend, Senator Eric Schmitt, back on the Annie Fry Show with us. Of course, United States Senator representing Missouri. Welcome back to the show, Senator. Good to have you here with us.
Good to be back with you, Annie.
I talked a little bit earlier in the show with Michelle Tafoya. She wants to, of course, be a senator from the state of Minnesota. When it comes to fraud and voter rolls and all of these questions that predate anybody actually getting into the office that you're sitting in right now as a senator, there are so many questions that the American people have as to what's actually fair. And I think the SAVE Act is a good place to start in getting us on the right track to making sure that citizens are voting.
Yeah, I mean, it's common sense. I think we do a lot of stupid things up here, and I think that what people really want us to do is focus on the things that really make sense that improve their lives and also provide integrity to the election process that we all, think is really important. And this is a simple way to do it, which is you just have to show ID when you vote. I think you mentioned some of the polling, or you had some polling. This is an 80-20 issue, including over 70% of Democrats support this. Over 90% of Republicans support this. So every demographic across the board, white, black, whatever, everybody supports this. And so I think it's something we should do if we actually care about the integrity of our elections. I think it's interesting, though, that this issue and illegal immigration are kind of big topics right now at the same time because they're related.
Yeah.
The Democrats at this point have lost the argument with the American people. They're not trusted. They had 4 years of a total disaster. President Trump's in, and they know that the reason why they imported 15 to 20 million people here illegally is they want them to be their voters. That's just the truth. And I think we just got to stop acting like that's not the reality. It is. So if we care about this country, we would do something like this, which is why it's called the Save America Act.
Senator Schmitt, what's the mechanism to getting this done? My understanding is that the House has passed some version of this. I don't know if it needs to change. I want to talk to you in a bit about the Protect America Act that you're pushing forward. But how do you get this done in the Senate to make sure it gets to the president's desk?
Yeah, so the House presumably will pass it, I think, this week, and then we come over here, and then we'd have to spend a lot of time on it. And, we got the filibuster at 60 votes, but what Senator Lee has been talking about is something like a talking filibuster, meaning it's not just enough to have 60, you kind of actually have to hold the floor, a la Jimmy Stewart from Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, right? And I think a lot of people would support that. If you're going to try to block something like this, you're going to have to earn it. It may take a while, but I do think it's something that's important, and I think it's something that we should dedicate a lot of time to.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think the country, if you do anything, it's got to be this. And maybe your Protect America Act, I see here that, at least according to Grok, you've got 4 pillars to it: ending sanctuary cities, enhancing penalties for illegal entry and reentry, protecting law enforcement, and defending rogue NGOs. Start from the top there, Senator, and tell us what
First of all, I love that you use Grok.
I did.
As opposed to like a press release.
I did.
Could you just type in, what is Eric Schmidt's Protect America Act?
The prompt for everybody at home on Grok is, give me bullet points on Senator Eric Schmidt's Protect America Act.
Look at this show prep.
Yeah, I know.
Annie,
it's changing.
I love it.
It's evolving. Thank you, Elon Musk.
You are. Now, the next step, you're so smart. The next step is for you to leave Illinois and come to Missouri.
Oh,
okay, can I convince you of that?
Ask
Grok to lay out 10 reasons why you should leave Illinois and come to Missouri. What does it say?
I will.
Can we do this live?
Let's
do this live.
I'll make you a deal. Sell me on the Protect America Act. I'll ask Grok a question in the background.
Okay. Protect America Act. So it does 4 things. We try to keep this very simple, right? So the Democrats are, putting all these ridiculous proposals that effectively would kneecap ICE and prevent them from doing their jobs. And what's the reason for that? Because they want de facto amnesty for the 15 to 20 million people who are here illegally. So my counterproposal is, first of all, that's a stupid idea. We're not going to do that. And my counterproposal is, okay, we want to have an immigration debate. Let's have it. Let's actually strengthen penalties for illegal entry and illegal reentry in this country. Let's strengthen penalties for going after ICE officers. Let's get rid of these NGOs who are creating the chaos in our streets, and let's end sanctuary cities. Those are the 4 things. Broad support. They would do a lot to deal with all the issues that you see. Look, these deportations are happening everywhere across America, Annie, in red states and blue states alike. What is the reason why you see what happened in Minneapolis happening in Minneapolis? It's because they're a sanctuary city, meaning they do not cooperate with ICE or any federal authorities when illegal alien criminals are being released from prison. So a rapist, somebody who's, breaking into homes, all of that stuff, once they're released, what would normally happen in most jurisdictions, local authorities would say, hey, we got this guy coming out, you can pick him up here, no drama. But they don't do that. And so then the ICE agents have to have a bunch more people go into neighborhoods and go get these guys and send them back home. So that's the real problem with sanctuary cities. And you see a lot of tragedy in the wake of what these illegal immigrants have done. And these ICE officers are just trying to do their jobs. Like, there are neighbors, there are family members, there are friends. Step back, let them do their jobs, and you wouldn't have these problems.
Senator Schmitt, one of the things that I've heard from people, my friends, people I know who have, good hearts, bad politics, basically, they think that Trump is targeting blue cities and blue states with the immigration raids. And I'm like, That's where the dumb politics are on this issue. Like, it's so easy to encourage people on the left to just see it as a political targeting of a Minnesota or maybe a Chicago, Illinois, or wherever these sanctuary cities and states are. But that's the place. These blue cities and these blue states is literally where these criminals have sanctuary. That's the policy.
Yeah, I mean, look, the fact of the matter is there's actually more deportations in red states than blue states, okay? The problem is in these 9 jurisdictions across the country, ICE agents are 590 times more likely to be assaulted in those 9 jurisdictions. And why? Because normally these operations go on without a hitch. You don't ever hear about them. They go and they get the person that's done the stuff and they send them back home. But in sanctuary jurisdictions, it makes it more difficult. It creates more confrontations potentially. And then, of course, you have leadership like Tim Walz and Jacob Fry saying, get in their faces, F ICE. And so then they create these situations that are dangerous. And so what you'll never hear a Democrat say, which is what I wish they would say, which is, by the way, what we should all say, is protest all you want. This is America. But let ICE do their jobs.
Yeah.
If we did that, actually, you wouldn't have dangerous situations. Our country would be better for it. And the people who broke our nation laws would, there'd be real consequences behind it.
Another part of it is enhanced penalties for illegal entry and reentry. I hear a lot of these folks who come here and maybe they have traffic crimes or DUIs or something like that, where it's not like they're out there murdering and raping children, but they are still crimes. But they've been deported 3 and 4 times and they just keep coming back.
Yep, it would create a 10-year minimum if you for illegal reentry. So I think what you have to have is, and as a former prosecutor, as a former attorney general, people respond to incentives. I remember specifically when I was AG. We had the Safer Streets Initiative. We worked with federal prosecutors to prosecute criminals. And we heard stories when a criminal was being picked up in St. Louis, for example, if they thought they wanted to know, were these federal charges or were these state charges? If they were federal charges, they knew they were in trouble because there's mandatory minimums. In state court, when Kim Gardner was the prosecutor, they were laughing at it. They knew they would be out the next day. So these incentives matter. A lot of these people, they're not stupid. They know exactly what they're doing. The cartels have instructed them how to do it. So if it's actually a felony the first time and you might be in jail the first time, that's a disincentive. If you enhance the penalty for reentry, that's also a disincentive. Right now, we've had too many instances of catch and release and a lot of these tragedies where women in particular have been raped and murdered. These were people who, were multiple offenders and came back into the country.
Yeah, these are such basic things. I can't believe that you have to put
Common
this
sense.
into
Common
an act that's going to get passed. But thank you for doing so. Defending.
All right, so you coming to Missouri? What's the deal? What's the verdict?
I have 5 really good points by Brock. I said, give me 5.
All right, I will stop badgering you. I will stop badgering the witness.
Yeah,
so.
If Grok convinces me, but Senator Eric Schmitt couldn't, then AI has really progressed here. I said, give me 5 economic and political reasons I should move from Illinois to Missouri. Number 1, significantly lower property taxes.
Boom.
Illinois has some of the highest property taxes in the United States. That is factual. Overall, the second one, overall lower cost of living and more affordable housing. There's another one, so that makes the move easy, I guess. More favorable business and tax environment. Fourth one is stronger job market and economic opportunities in key sectors. And the last one is more conservative political climate and policy alignment. It's a winner.
Nice. Let me add another one. Eric Schmitt loves you. Eric Schmitt wants you to come.
Yeah, thank you. Could you ask Senators Durbin and Duckworth how they feel about me? Tell them to come on my show.
Yeah, I don't know what they'll say.
I don't know if they even know who I am. So when you go to get this SAVE Act, is that going to be separate from the Protect America Act? Two completely separate things.
Yes. So really right now, to kind of set the stage, this week, so we passed all the appropriations bills for everything that funds government, like 93%. There's one left. It's DHS. It's the Department of Homeland Security. That includes funding for Border Patrol, ICE, FEMA, TSA. Okay, that's the one that's remaining. The Democrats, so we passed a temporary funding measure that expires at the end of this week. The Democrats are now holding that hostage for a bunch of ridiculous demands for ICE. Okay, so the counter to that, those ridiculous demands, is the Protect America Act. You want to have the debate? Let's actually have the debate on what we can do to solve these problems. And it begins with ending sanctuary cities. So the Save America Act would be something, once we get past this funding battle, whenever that is, the next few days, the next couple of weeks, we'll see. That's, I think, when Save America Act would probably be something that we would really push full force.
Senator Eric Schmitt, come back again soon. We love having these chats. I will continue to study what you were doing in the Senate with Grok.
Awesome.
It's
all right,
very
take
concise.
care. We'll see you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Senator Eric Schmitt, the United States Senator from Missouri. I refer to him as my adopted senator. He has approved it and extended me a personal invitation to come to Missouri. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I do appreciate the kindness. It is hard to explain to people why I wouldn't just move across the river. And the answer to that question is always my family is in Illinois. Illinois is my home, and I would like to do something to make Illinois a better place to live for the future generations in my family. I look at somebody like Michelle Tafoya, who we had on in the 12 o'clock hour. She's running for Senate to take Tina Smith's seat, Democrat in Minnesota, in the United States Senate. And, I'm kind of curious to see how she can do. Does she make a good run for it? Does she pull the whole thing off? I think she's a great candidate. And you like to see some of these people on their home turf put up a good fight. And I think Michelle Tafoya has been doing great. And of course, Eric Schmitt, Josh Hawley, both great senators from the state of Missouri. If Senator Durbin and Duckworth would like to come on the show, we would love to have them. All right, let's take a break. Catherine Hanaway, the current Attorney General from the state of Missouri, who knows what she'll do next? It's a launching pad for people. That seat in the Attorney General office that Eric Schmitt used to hold. Catherine Hanaway will be with us in about 12 minutes from right now. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's Mark Cox with Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Welcome back, Gloria. For years now, you've been on 97.1 helping families plan that next big move with your Guaranteed Sold program. For those planning to sell their home this year, what's your advice for sellers?
Thank you. My advice is simple. Do your homework before listing your home. Our market is stabilizing, inventory is tightening and moving fast. In other words, the realtor you choose to sell your home really matters. That's why my sellers love my Guaranteed Sale program. I guarantee to sell your home at your agreed upon price and time frame, or I will buy it myself. I have thousands of buyers in my buyers in waiting database, so your home may already been sold before it's ever hit the market. Higher demand, more competition, and more money for your home.
Friends, do what I did. Call Gloria Liu right now at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Gloria and seller must agree upon price and possession date.
The ACA Market Plan has just announced significant increases on their monthly premiums for 2026, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Greg Hammond's Freedom of Choice plans now. You don't have to wait. One of their plans lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower than most Obamacare plans. Other options are full coverage PPOs with national networks, copays, and 100% annual preventative care. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg, and they'll provide all available options. Call 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to GregHammonds.com. That's GregHammonds.com. He can custom design a plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
Are you nearing retirement and wondering if you're truly prepared? Sue Thomas here. And when it comes to retirement planning, keep in mind Financial and Tax Architects, FTA, has helped families all across St. Louis plan to retire with clarity and confidence. FTA specializes in creating tax-efficient retirement strategies, showing you how and when to claim Social Security, and building an income plan designed to last as long as you do. Now, they have a Retirement Planning 101 class. It is eye-opening. It's 2.5 hours. It's offered on campuses of colleges throughout the area. No cost or obligation, but you're going to learn how to avoid costly mistakes, reduce unnecessary taxes, and make your money work smarter in retirement. Call 314-888-5101 or visit fta-ria.com to reserve your seat today. Space fills quickly, so don't wait. Take that first step toward a more confident retirement.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
The Annie Fry Show is St. Louis conservative.
Take a seat. Rattle.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Nancy Guthrie has not been found yet.
Right.
And they have not arrested anyone yet. I was telling you guys off air that last night they had detained somebody. They said they had detained a person of interest, not arrested, just detained. And they were in, what was the name of that town? I can't remember. It's like a stone's throw from the border.
Okay.
Where they had gone to detain this person. And I was like, hey, I'm staying up and I'm watching this because I want to know that she's alive. I really want to know that she's alive. I have theories as to what's happening here. I've shared those theories with you guys off air. It's such a strange situation, and it kind of eats at me that this could potentially, it is in the realm of possibility that it never gets solved. We never find her.
Yeah. Well, I missed this whole 12-hour saga from last night.
You didn't really miss anything.
That's what I've heard.
I got home last night. Charlie had a basketball game. Got home. This is the way my life goes. Charlie has a basketball game at 6:00. We watch it. We stay and watch the varsity play after he gets done. Get home at like 8:30. The whole time the kids are like, "Can we go out to eat? Can we go out to eat?" Is it as a child, is it the best thing in the world to go out to eat?
Yes. That and a slide.
What do you combine the two? You might have a business
Put
opportunity.
a chuck roast at the bottom of the slide.
Yeah, that's exactly what my 9-year-old was asking for. Can we get some chuck roast up in here?
At the bottom of a slide.
Yes. She just, yeah.
Face first.
It's 8:30. I'm like, guys, let's not. We can't eat out every night. And it's 8:30. No, we're just gonna go home. So everybody's sad. Like, oh, Applebee's is like, you guys are back again. We didn't go. So we get home. I sit down on the couch, get my computer out to start doing work for the next day's show, put the stream together, get everything all lined up. And in comes 9-year-old Evelyn. Mom, tomorrow's wear pink at school day. Of course it is. So it's like at that point, maybe 9:15.
Just wash your white dress with a red hat.
It's too much work. I live 5 minutes from Walmart. And I went up to my husband. I go, you want to go on a date to Walmart with me? And he's like, I want to go on a date.
Wait a minute. What you're telling me is that your 9-year-old doesn't have any pink clothing?
Clean?
Oh. Gotcha. Isn't it easier to just
do you
throw
know
in the wash?
You know
though?
how the left feels about ice? That's how I feel about laundry.
It's fascist?
I can't. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I can't say the word on the air. But screw laundry. So, but I mean, like at that point, if we could find something, my 9-year-old is the benefactor of a lot of hand-me-down clothes. Which is fine. But there's no like organization. It's just hand-me-down stuff. And she's got a lot of it. And so I'm like, Jared, let's go to Walmart. So we leave the kids at home and we go to Walmart and we just buy some pink clothes and come home. And then I'm a hero.
Wow. All right.
Like you come home with that and I'm a hero. So I don't get to sit down. I come home and then I eat dinner. It's near 10, 9:45 o'clock or whatever. I don't know. So I finally get the news turned on at 10 and they're like frenetic on the news about Nancy Guthrie. Things are happening. Things are moving. They've got a person of interest. They're right down this street, which the number one thing we know about outer Tucson is that it's dark. They just keep reporting on how it's dark. It's a place where astronomers study the sky, so they have light pollution rules, and they will tell you that, especially at night, every time they come back from a break, it's really dark. You're like, no kidding. All I can see is you and the lights flashing behind you.
Outer Tucson sounds like the name of a late in their career Wallflowers album.
Okay, super specific. But they say that, so they're like searching a home, and now all of a sudden they have someone detained, and I'm like, well, I have to stay up and see what happens. Got to know if they got the guy. I got to know if they've got the guy. I got to know if Nancy Guthrie is alive. I want her to be alive. I'm praying for Nancy Guthrie to be returned to her family. And so I'm laying on the couch. Everybody else eventually goes to bed. And I'm laying there and I'm like dozing off. I'm listening, but I'm dozing. Listening, dozing. Wake up at about 1:15, I think it was. Look at my phone and Twitter just to get the latest because X is much more up to the second. And here's some local television reporter interviewing the guy that was detained. And I'm like, what? This is not why I was staying up. I wanted you to have the guy. And he was like, I deliver packages for a living, but I don't know who this lady is. Don't have any idea if I've been to her house. And they said I got eyes like the guy in the picture.
Wow.
They were interviewing his stepmom hours before. And she's like, we don't know anything about this. I don't know why he's been detained. And I'm like, gosh, should she be out there on the street in the neighborhood talking to the television reporters? I don't know. It just gets weirder. The whole situation gets weirder and weirder.
I don't know how much the average person is paying attention to that story. I know it's broken through, though. As I was talking to a guy just yesterday, the day before, who said, what's up with that?
Everybody's got an eye on it.
What's up with that Guthrie story, I said, I don't know, man. We're just following it like you are. And he said, well, I have a theory. I think the coyotes got her. And I'm like, are you talking about drug cartels or something? He's like, no, actual coyotes. And I said, I don't think the coyotes sent in ransom letters and were wanting Bitcoin.
Yeah, but there's a lot of suspicion that that's just people taking advantage of a situation.
He didn't go that far.
You didn't consider the fact that the ransom notes might have not been from the people who actually took her?
We had a lot going on. We were talking about a lot.
Going to buy pink clothes at Walmart at 9:30. Yeah, c'est la vie. When we come back, we're going to speak with Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway, and she is filing suit against MSHSAA, the MSHSAA. It's the Athletic Association for Missouri High Schools. She's saying there's race and sex-based discrimination, and she's dropping a lawsuit. We'll talk to Catherine Hanaway next. The Retirement Advisory Group. We got to talk with Bob and Tammy Kershaw yesterday in studio, and understanding timing, moving into retirement, making sure that you retire while you've got, kind of peak performance there in your investments. It's a trick. It's something you need to understand. I certainly am not at the place at 41 years of age yet where I get to enjoy that. But a lot of you listening right now, you're in your late 50s, 60s. Maybe you've even retired already. But you want to make sure that you stuck the landing. You've worked your tail off, and now you want to make sure that you've made all the smart moves to make that retirement be the one that you've dreamt of. Well, this event we're having Tuesday, February 17th. It starts at 6:30. I'll get there at 6 o'clock. I'd love to meet you. Get to just shake hands and get to know each of you from 6 to 6:30. It's at the Doubletree Chesterfield, right off 64 West and Chesterfield Parkway. Tuesday, February 17th. It starts at 6:30 p.m. I get there at 6, and Thomas Helbig and Bob and Tammy Kershaw are going to help you through this whole process. 314-993-9494, retirementkey.com.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
2 St. Louis icons, 1 legendary tribute. Join the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra and St. Louis City SC at Powell Hall on Sunday, February 15th for Eternal, a tribute to Tina Turner. presented by Purina, with performances by special guests including conductor Anthony Parthener, Grammy Award-winning artist Brittany Howard of Alabama Shakes, and our city's own Kennedy Homes. This is your chance to experience the ultimate journey through Tina's immortal catalog. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at slso.org.
Hey guys, are you dealing with low energy, weight gain, or issues in the bedroom? Game Day Men's Health is the premier men's health clinic in the St. Louis area with locations in Chesterfield and O'Fallon, Missouri. They specialize in low testosterone and sexual health, and they also help men and women with medical weight loss, vitamins, and peptides. They offer free consultations and testosterone tests with results in about 20 minutes. Get in, get answers, get back to the top of your game. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Again, that's GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
We're asking you today in the YouTube live chat poll, has President Trump been exonerated in the Epstein Files? A number of options there. Let us know what you think, and of course, leave comments. Lots of people are leaving comments on this. We are monitoring those. We'll give the results at the end of the show. It is 1:32. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
From the gateway to the airwaves. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
"100 years ago today, February 4th, 1926, the Missouri State High School Athletic Association, at the time, Constitution was unanimously voted into existence. 100 years later, our association as we know it is under attack from our state legislature. It's time to fight for the future of high school sports and activities in our state. If our 724 member schools want to retain their ownership and governance of their association, we must engage."
So there you have Misha, the Missouri, State High School Athletic Association. They are saying they're under attack from the legislature. And it just so happens that I have in my hands a press release from the desk of Catherine Hanaway, Missouri Attorney General, saying she's filing lawsuit based on race and sex based discrimination. Let's get to the bottom of it right now. Attorney General, thank you for being with us today. Catherine Hanaway with us back on the Annie Fry Show. So you're filing lawsuit against Misha.
Yes, we are. And thanks so much for having me on again, Annie. I apologize if my voice is a little more raspy than usual today.
You sound great.
I think I got what everybody else has.
Yeah.
So we filed suit pretty simply because the association is discriminating against anyone who is not a minority and not a woman. They have a rule that says you are not qualified to be a member, an at-large member of their board, unless you are a minority or a woman. And that sounds crazy. This all started with the Cassville school superintendent, who happens to live in Scott Fitzpatrick, the state auditor's district or hometown. The superintendent reached out to Scott as the state auditor, said, "This can't be right. Can you check into it?" The state auditor did. The association confirmed that was their rule. He referred it over to us. I was like, the third line of defense. I said, they can't mean this. They have to understand that you cannot discriminate on the basis of race and gender. And nope, they doubled down. And frankly, I'm glad they're under attack by the legislature. Misha may serve its members, like the athletic directors and school boards, but I don't even think they serve them, and they certainly don't serve the athletes in Missouri, and that's been a problem for a long, long, long time. All the way back to when I was in the legislature, they were disqualifying kids for competing too much from our state tournaments. So you had great swimmers and great track athletes who, of course, ran in club meets, and some of them, I remember one guy who had a chance to make the Olympic team, and they wouldn't let him run in the state high school track meet. And this happens over and over again. If you talk to people who have kids involved in high school sports in Missouri, they have story after story after story like that. And so what the legislature is trying to do is wrest control from, sort of a self-perpetuating board and let the governor make those appointments.
Catherine Hanaway, the Attorney General for the state of Missouri, speaking with us right now. If the organization, if Misha is not there to serve the student athletes, then who are they serving?
I think they're serving the athletic directors and superintendents who are their 724 member school districts. And frankly, probably not even them well. I think they serve their, inner circle board members really well. And that's about it. And I'm sorry to be so harsh, but I care passionately about kids and sports. I think it's one of the formative opportunities anybody has. And it is the opportunity that should be a level playing field where excellence can be recognized through hard work, effort, and merit and talent. And, boys should play boys sports and girls should play girls sports. And so many great life lessons come out of that. And I just absolutely hate it when bureaucrats prevent kids from having that opportunity.
So what we're learning here from this lawsuit is that they have, 2 at-large positions that white men cannot apply to be a part of.
That's exactly right. And we think anybody should be able to apply, and who's ever the best for the job should get it.
Yeah, which could be a minority female or a white man.
Could be.
Could be both of them.
Exactly. Funny thing how that might work if it was fair.
Have there been conversations that you said you were the third line of defense here? Have there been discussions, encouragement before the Attorney General of the state files a lawsuit to try to say, all right, let's reason with each other here and see if we can shift gears? Were there steps that were taken before a lawsuit to try to get this back on track?
Absolutely. Both starting all the way back with the Cassville superintendent, who reached out and said, maybe I'm misunderstanding. And then Scott Fitzpatrick did the same thing. We did the same thing a third time because it was kind of startling, right? It's so clearly in violation of the law. And I'm not sure why this is the hill that they want to fight on, particularly when they've got a real battle going on in the legislature. Now, I'm not sure they're going to, that the people sponsoring the bills to reform their governance are going to win. Particularly in outstate Missouri, school superintendents are a very, very powerful lobbying force. And in the metro areas, we don't recognize it quite as much, but because these administrators are being paid so much today, they're often among the highest paid people in a whole legislative district. They're thought leaders. They're very well respected members of the community. And you know what? I want our school superintendents to be that because they're providing great education to kids. But I don't think that that's always the case.
We're speaking with Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway, talking about the suit filed against Misha for race and sex-based discrimination. Where does the rules for these seats, like who sets them? Are they voted upon by the board and implemented by the board? What needs to happen in order for them to change them?
No, that's exactly right. The board could change these immediately. It would be an easy fix. I don't believe, now I'm not intimately familiar with the Constitution for Misha. It might require a vote of the membership, but most of the governance is self-perpetuated by its board.
And then I'm just doing a quick Google search here on the current Misha board of directors. If they have spots open for at-large members, the superintendents look to be, if you're a superintendent, does that make you part of this board? Like, what constitutes the non-at-large?
So there's like districts that are roughly similar to our congressional districts. Mm-hmm. And within each of those, the members vote to elect someone to represent their district. And then there's 2 at-large spots in addition to those districts. So what the Cassville superintendent wanted to put in for was one of those at-large spots.
I see a woman from the North Kansas City School District on there. So it appears as though District 8 voted a female in to represent them in that position. And then, of course, the 2 at-large members right now, one is a black man, one is a white woman. If I would assume if the best person for the job or the person who ran and politicked to get that position was a person of color or a female, that they would be able to still have that position from any of the other districts around the state?
Of course. Absolutely they could. And, they just need to go out and campaign for it like you do any other leadership position. So
when you file this lawsuit, how does this work? Are you just basically, how does it get ruled on? Where does it get ruled on? What kind of resolution might happen here?
Yeah, so it just, it's going to work its way through the courts. It's, in a trial court right now. We are seeking to enjoin the association from enforcing this rule, and then hopefully ultimately get them to overturn the rule. We don't want money. We just want, the law to be upheld.
Well, thank you for continuing to advocate for fairness. I mean, especially when you're talking about sports, it's like this is the most basic ground level place where merit should reign supreme. And we see in a lot of other states, mine included, in the state of Illinois, where they can't get a lot of other things straight. But it's good to see you advocating for this. And, should the at-large members be people of minorities, be women? And that's how they decide to go with that. That is what it is. But to discriminate against a white person, I would say that's racist.
I mean, it clearly is discrimination. It's the thing we want to root out going both directions. We don't want to discriminate against women and minorities, but we don't want to discriminate against white men either. Like, come on, people. We should be past this by now.
Yeah. Well, keep fighting for it. Thank you for spending some time with us today, Catherine Hanaway. It's good to have you back with us.
Thanks so much, Annie. Take care.
Bye-bye. The Attorney General for the state of Missouri, Catherine Hanaway, on this lawsuit filed against Misha. 2 at-large board positions on the Misha board are not allowed to have white males serving in them. They must be a person of a minority class or of a minority race or of a minority gender. Minority underserved, I think, is the way. Aren't there more women? Aren't there like 2 more women than men or something? Like you look at the percentages and there's a tick more women. I think they live longer. I think that's why. I always hear that joke. It's because men check out early because they can't, whatever. I don't need to go into that. Suggesting that you cannot serve in a position because you're white or because you're male. That's discrimination. That's the basis for discrimination. What are we even doing here? Hopefully they are victorious in that suit. Let's take a break. Reminder, we've got Jack Posobiec coming with us in about 20 minutes from now, 2:05. Jack Posobiec is the senior editor at Human Events, and he is a very active person with Turning Point at the very top, a huge element of getting that halftime show produced for Turning Point with Kid Rock and Brantley Gilbert, Lee Bryce, and Gabby. It was an incredible event that was put together. Jack Posobiec will talk to us about it in about 20 minutes. So keep it right here on the Annie Fry Show. Stream us on the Odyssey app. Back in a minute.
For Bourbon for Badges. Mark Cox here. It's hosted by the St. Louis Whiskey Society and the St. Louis Hero Network, February 27th at Tapawingo Golf Club. Get your tickets now at bourbonforbadges.com.
This is attorney Todd Nissenholtz of Kaufman Townsley. Injured at work? Not choosing the best lawyer will cost you. But here's the good news. Since you don't pay unless we win, you can afford the very best. Kaufman Townsley. Call 314-777-7777.
License number GL250000615.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Home power used to be simple. Now the car plugs in, the scooter plugs in, the space heater plugs in, and your electric panel starts popping.
That sounds bad, but I like popcorn.
Popcorn is great, sparks are not. Call Grasser. We'll upgrade your panel so you can run it all.
Electric and plumbing, the Grasser way.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeServices.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com. Hey, it's Mark Reardon for the Doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. We call them the Doctors because they've treated more than 250 doctors, more than any other practice in St. Louis. So if you're looking for the best doctors for your best vision, it's Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Bird Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. Doctors Birdie and Malhotra are cornea surgeons and experts in the diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye. I had an eye disease when I was younger. It left me with a silicone buckle around my right eye, so I put my trust in Ophthalmology Associates to take care of my annual checkups. Maybe you're experiencing dry eye, allergy eyes. They can help. They can help with cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma, and LASIK surgeries. And if you're looking for the best eye care, it's Ophthalmology Associates. Make an appointment today by calling 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com. They have a great office location just west of 270 on Manchester Road. Again, the phone number, 314-966-5000. The website, youridoc.com. Ophthalmology Associates.
I'm getting older. Do I need to worry about falling?
Yes, you do. Every year, 1 in 4 people 65 and older will experience a fall, and many result in serious injury. The majority of falls happen at home, so take a look around. Replace bulbs and add lighting to help you see obstacles. Remove things that can make you trip. Fix uneven steps and floors, and install handrails in bathrooms and on stairs. Consider balance or strength training exercises, which can help with agility. Get your eyes and hearing checked regularly. Changes in your hearing can affect your balance. To learn more, please talk to your doctor about steps you can take to help prevent a fall. You can also visit aarpfoundation.org or medicaremadeclear.com/falls. This message was brought to you by United Healthcare and AARP Foundation.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Does your wife have a look? I'm in trouble look.
No, I don't think she does.
Does she say it, or is she just super nice?
She's
super nice.
She's super nice, but she will say...
She'll use her words before she'll give you a look?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because if I see anything resembling a look, I'll ask. So it's like...
So she has a look.
She almost has to be aware constantly that I'm looking for a look, and therefore she doesn't have one. Like last night...
Are you telling me that you're outthinking her?
No, I'm saying that
I know your wife.
I'm probably more sensitive than she wants me to be to it. Last night, I bought some fire logs, and I set them up on the counter, and they were a brand we've never gotten. And she said something to my son, but I thought she was talking about the fire logs, about like, oh, I've seen this before. I don't like the way this goes. And I was like, what are you judging my fire logs just because it's a brand you never gotten? And she's like, I'm not talking about your stupid fire logs. I'm talking
she checks you.
Yeah. So I'm always like aware. I'm waiting for something to happen, and it usually doesn't.
Why?
I don't know. I think I'm just like that.
You just worried that you're screwing up a lot?
Maybe.
So are you looking for a look because you are being defensive, or because you don't want to upset her?
I think I'm looking for a look because I'm just super aware all the time that I something could go wrong.
Aware of what?
I'm always thinking about. You're gonna be surprised to hear this about me.
I'm already surprised.
I'm thinking about.
Am I giving you a look right now?
Yes. Things that could go wrong.
No,
knowing
you're not.
that they're not. I do think about that at home quite a bit. But I also am very
optimistic. Do you get it all out of your
optimistic.
system at home?
I must. Yeah. Even people in business are like, no, you're not really like that. And I'm like, I am like that. I just don't say it or show it.
Or think it.
You're constantly planning for the worst, knowing that it probably won't happen.
Ryan.
So
you are constantly living your life like the best possible thing is right around the corner.
That's the optimist part, is that I don't actually believe the worst thing's going to happen. So I'm always anticipating the best thing's going to happen, but I plan just in case it doesn't. That's the way I live.
In my best anchorman, I don't believe you.
Yo, it's true. It's true. So that's why I'm constantly looking for, maybe this could go wrong, but I believe that it won't.
You're saying that you're constantly analyzing all the possible outcomes to know what the worst one possibly is so you could be aware of it, but the best thing's going to happen anyway?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's a sweet form of optimism because then you're not blindsided by the pessimism. It makes you more optimistic. So when the bad thing happens, you're like, yeah, I thought this was a possibility.
What was the 1245 segment again on the show here? What was Wiggins America?
Ways to trick people into thinking you're more confident than you are.
Okay. Then you actually are.
Yeah. How does this fall into that? Doesn't?
Delusion.
No, this is just a way to live very wisely. That's what I'm describing.
I am completely open to the idea that the way you approach your life as a husband and father is entirely different than the way that you approach your job, because it would have to be if what you just said is accurate.
Yeah, it probably is.
You're doing your sway, by the way. You know how I was talking about my child who does the fidgets with the fingers?
Yeah.
You have a I'm full of crap sway.
No, I think I'm full of pee sway. I just got to go to the bathroom. That's all this is.
Ew. How gross.
I'm just telling you the truth. I'm here to bring you the truth, as usual. I thought your guest this hour did a great job of that as well.
I know. Way to bring us back to the middle.
Here we are.
Eric Schmitt, Catherine Hanaway, Jack Posobiec in 10 minutes.
You know what? Somebody texted
Michelle Tafoya in the noon hour.
Yeah, somebody texted. I meant to read this, but we've been so busy. Somebody said about Brad. If Brad's the person who books this show, man, what a good job he did. Oh, here it is. Yeah, Brad is the one to book guests for the show. He has totally outdone himself today. Nice lineup.
It's a great lineup.
It's a good lineup.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of these we ask and ask and ask and ask and ask, and they're like, how about we all go on Wednesday?
Going into today, I was thinking, what's the worst that could happen? Probably nobody shows up. But
you?
I believe that everybody will say yes. That's how this happens.
You're just you're not full of pee. You're full of crap.
You're beside yourself because you think, this can't be true. Yet there's a part of you believing, no, actually, you probably do believe this. And I do. I do live that way. You got to plan for the worst.
Oh, I do. Here we
are.
I
know you do.
Keep looking at that clock, and it just quit moving. What is time?
To get back to your original question.
I don't even remember what
Does my wife have a look?
Yes.
No, she does not. Or if she does, I am not aware of it.
Now we get to the crux of the problem.
She's so good at hiding it.
She has a look, and you're so self-aware that you're not sure if she does.
Possibly. There's no way to really know, though.
Text your wife right now.
No, thank you.
I will do it. Can I?
I'm not going to stop you.
I'm asking for your permission.
Yeah,
She's
go
your
ahead.
wife.
To ask her if she has a look.
I am going to ask her.
She's a very busy teacher, so my guess is that she will not see this text until tonight.
I have a missed call, and it says from Illinois. Illinois is calling to advocate against Grok to keep me. I guarantee you that's not what's happening.
Had to hear the Schmitt.
I've never been in an interview with somebody, let alone Senator Eric Schmitt, where he says, ask Grok why you should move to Missouri. See what Grok knows about the comparison between Illinois and Missouri. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to ask you a question about your thing, and I'll go ask Grok about this thing. And then we discuss it live on air.
You know what
that
I loved
happened
about
at the beginning of the hour.
That he had a lot of important things to talk about. And in that moment, he was like, oh, no, this will be great.
Do Grok thing. Yeah.
I was cracking up in my office.
I use ChatGPT, but I'm kind of trying to go see what Grok knows a little bit more because I would prefer to use Grok. I subscribe to the ChatGPT, so I'm paying for that. Happy to move it over to Grok, but I need Grok to prove that it is better than ChatGPT.
Do you think, as somebody who subscribes especially, do you think that AI in 6 months is way better than it was 6 months ago?
Yes, maybe 6 days. It's out of control.
Fast?
There's a post going around on X right now, and it's being shared. Did you read that post?
Yeah, Zachary Levi shared it.
Yeah, he did, among many other people who were just talking about how AI is building itself now. The people who have built AI, who have participated in the coding of AI, they're not even necessary anymore. They said the post says that it was, initially it was like you could do 8 times 7 and it would tell you it was 54. And that was just a few years ago. And then it starts to get a little bit better at that. And then it gets a little bit better at kind of creating things, understanding what your prompts are. But now you can tell it to do something, come back in 3 hours later, and it's not only creating what you're telling it to create, but it's vetting it. The thing that it highlighted there was it's applying taste and judgment. That's terrifying. I don't feel like pretending it's not there or not touching it. I don't think it's going to stop whatever's happening from happening. And I try to use it in a way that it makes me more efficient, but I'm still applying the me part of it. But the efficiency, yes, I would like to have a little help on that. I don't know. Jack Posobiec on the Annie Fry Show in 5 minutes. Don't go away. $833-995-WILL is the number to call. Todd Sivia at Sivia Law in Missouri, in Illinois alike. Todd Sivia can deliver a great, great estate plan for you. Everybody is different. So I'm talking to some of you, and yours is super complicated. You've got kids you want included. You've got kids you don't want included, or maybe in-laws or outlaws. Whatever your scenario is, it's going to be unique to you, which is why I want to encourage you to get on the Sivia Law schedule by calling this number. And don't forget to mention my name, Annie, because the first 10 people to call this number right now, they are going to waive the fee for that initial strategy session. 833-995-WILL. Call 833-995-WILL. Tell the Sivia Law office that Annie sent you and make sure you get that strategy session fee waived. Wills, trusts, powers of attorney, these are decisions you absolutely have to make to help you through life's transitions. Sivia Law is there to help you do it. Online at SiviaLaw.com.
Men, need a clinic that accepts all insurance, including Medicare? U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peters does. U.S. Men's helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. And they accept all insurance, even Medicare, for testosterone replacement therapy. Patients love the staff and the fact that, yes, I'm going to say it again, they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Feel better? Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333.
If you've listened to 97.1 FM Talk, you've heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial and Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple as the financial expert on the station for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio every Saturday at 2, right here on 97.1 FM Talk, and you can talk to Doug Voss directly. Here's his number. Call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through DHL Securities, LLP, member FINRA and SIPC.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777. Intensive search in the Catalina foothills. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's how the FBI describes what's happening now in the Nancy Guthrie investigation in Arizona after yesterday's release of surveillance footage showing a masked man at her front door.
The FBI says the number of tips coming in increased significantly after these images and footage were released to the public. NBC News reports the Guthrie family did not recognize this person at Nancy's door the morning she was reported missing.
Fox's Alicia Acuna in Tucson. A man detained and questioned last night was later released. The FBI still offering a $50,000 reward. The Epstein Files dominating questions, especially from Democrats, at a House hearing with Attorney General Pam Bondi.
There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency.
California Congressman Ted Lieu.
I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein Files.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just lied under oath. And this is all on videotape.
Democrats accusing the administration of a cover-up and of using the Justice Department to seek revenge on Trump opponents, which Bondi denies. The Los Angeles Organizing Committee for the 2028 Olympics will let Casey Wasserman stay on as chairman. After a review of his appearance in the Epstein Files, Wasserman has not been accused of wrongdoing with Epstein, but documents revealed an exchange of flirtatious emails with Epstein's convicted associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, in 2003. Just getting word that James Vanderbeek has died, best known for the 90s series Dawson's Creek, but also movies, including Varsity Blues.
Playing football at West Canaan may have been the opportunity of your lifetime, but I don't want your life.
James Vanderbeek was 48. He had battled colorectal cancer since 2024. The actor was also a husband and father. A family statement says he passed peacefully this morning. America is listening to Fox News.
This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Ben Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G coverage. What? Franklin wasn't even a president. Hang on to those Benjamins. Dial pound 250, say micro, and save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, micro, to switch to an American wireless company that's truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Plenty of sunshine and those cooler temperatures right on track. In the 40s to near 50 for the high this afternoon. About 10 to 15 degrees cooler than yesterday. Tonight, some clouds move in, but all is dry. 33. Thursday, clouds and 47. Friday, sunny and 54. Rain moving in late Saturday and especially Saturday night into Sunday morning. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Save 15% off blown-in attic insulation and get a free year of HVAC maintenance. Proper insulation reduces energy costs and strain on your HVAC system and makes your home more comfortable. For a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Turning Point USA's All-American Halftime Show hitting over 20 million views on YouTube, with Turning Point reporting between 40 and 50 million views. Tuned in across all platforms. Headliner Kid Rock joining Laura Ingraham to tout the show's success and to discuss why he chose to perform his cover of Cody Johnson's Till I Can't.
I knew they wanted to have a program that's great on, family and faith and great music. And I did it to honor him and his fans because he wasn't able to do it. So I said, well, he's going to have a lot of fans. Let's try to play one of his songs.
Since his performance, Kid Rock's cover skyrocketing to the top of the iTunes charts, topping Bad Bunny's DTMF in the original version of Till I Can't is number 3. And those are your headlines, guys.
Carly Shimkus reporting there for Fox and Friends on Fox News about the success of the Turning Point halftime show. I switched over. Did you? A lot of people did, and that is a tall order on a Super Bowl, during a Super Bowl halftime. Let's talk to one of the people who made it possible. So excited to have Jack Posobiec back on the show with us, senior editor at Human Events. Follow him on X, absolutely, Jack Posobiec, and author of the book Unhumans, The Secret History of Communist Revolutions. Jack, welcome back to the show. It's good to have you with us.
Well, Annie, it's great to be here, and thanks so much. Working with Turning Point USA as a contributor over there for years and co-host with Charlie, when we put together this idea, I've always thought that, and I've said that the inspiration, I may have had the first tweet about it, but the inspiration was Charlie. This was something that he talked about as a cultural touchstone. The Super Bowl halftime show, what could be a bigger cultural event than this? What could be a more monumental moment? But as Charlie would say, he said, look, these are not family friendly. They're getting more and more, to use his word, debaucherous. And they're just, and really just not something that appeals, I think, to the average American, the people in middle America who watch the NFL, who love football. It's not the Hank Williams Jr. era when he built Monday Night Football and his incredible, iconic anthem, Are You Ready for Some Football? And he got canceled by the NFL several years ago and was very, very angry to have done so. So in this case, it's the NFL, really trying to appeal to a global audience at the detriment of cutting off their actual core audience. And so for us, when we looked at this, we said country music, rock music, this has not been platformed by the NFL for decades. And you know something? We think that that's what the American people want. And when you see the numbers come in, the 20 million just on social streaming, probably when it's all said and done, we're looking at 40 to 50 million writ large in terms of all of our partners, the number one American live stream in YouTube history, just floored by God's grace, humbled by God's grace to allow us such an opportunity.
I'm really personally grateful for it because I was at home with my oldest daughter. And I, just for purposes of preparing for the show, it's like, I'm going to watch both of them. I'm not going to come back and comment on the Bad Bunny halftime show after not watching it. But I don't think I'm the only person who did this either. I switched over and watched Turning Points live. And then I went back during the Super Bowl. I think I got back into the third quarter of the Super Bowl with maybe 6 minutes left on the quarter. So I think that there were some extenuating circumstances to people who turned the Super Bowl off in the first place. But I was emotionally, personally touched as a wife and a Christian, a mother of 4 kids, to watch something with my child sitting next to me that I was really proud to watch alongside of her. And that Till You Can't song was just on in our house 24 hours before. She's in 8th grade. She was having some emotions about her 8th grade year and friends and, moving on to high school. The day before to that song, and then to have that play in my family room with my daughter sitting next to me and to hear that song, that I felt like it was for me. Go forward and watch what the NFL presented. Great production value. Of course, it's going to be. Bad Bunny did exactly what he was hired to do, but that was not for me.
It's amazing you say that because, obviously I was, privy to that, the plan that Kid Rock was going to do that. It was all his idea, by the way. That's
incredible.
No, we certainly can't take any credit for that. It was all him. And, it's certainly not exactly what I think anyone was expecting when they heard Kid Rock as a headliner. You think you're getting a certain thing. And of course we got Ball with the Ball and, the original classic, stuff that he's known for, the hits. But when he showed us the transition of his life after having accepted Jesus, he's known for the hard rocking guy, the girls, the concerts, right? We all, the high flying life. But then he accepts Jesus and then he comes out, right? That's why they did the name change.
Is that that's a question I have for you.
Kid Rock,
I've
then
seen
introduced again as Robert Ritchie.
I've seen it discussed, and people are saying, notice this. But I haven't heard anyone with the conviction that you're saying here say that the intentionality of, and I said to my daughter, I paused it right before Kid Rock, they're playing the intro. And I go, do you know what Kid Rock's about to say right now? And my daughter's like, no, what? And my husband, who's 42, standing next to me, he's 43 now. He goes, my name is Kid Rock. I play it at the same time, and my husband does the, my name is Kid. And my daughter, who's 13,
I was doing it backstage.
She's looking at him like, who are you? But that into talking about Jesus on the cross at the end, the transition, the classical music, was that intentionally there to represent Kid Rock, Robert Ritchie's journey?
It absolutely was, and I'll tell you that. Even when I heard, I said, "What do you mean he's bringing a string duet? String duo is going to come in with Kid Rock? Well, what? And we're having this, and we got a cello and a violin, which I got to meet them, as they were coming in. Wonderful people, by the way. Antonio and Allison Marin. I highly people keep asking me, where they can find them. I couldn't speak more. They were just so sweet, so nice to work with, and everybody was. Gabby Barrett as well, just so sweet, so down to earth. But then I realized as we were going through and they were doing the rehearsals and all, because when I saw the pieces being put together, that's when I realized he's not just telling a story, he's telling a story on stage through music, through art, in a way that, maybe he isn't even really articulating in his interviews, but he's showing you this is him. This is his story, his salvation through accepting Christ, finding Christ. And then when he hit that song, and I had the exact same reaction to you, because was it about Charlie? Yes, but it was more than Charlie, because and for us at Turning Point, obviously we've lost someone very close to us. We've all lost someone very close. 5 months yesterday. But what he's singing about is that we're all going to go through loss in our life. The first line is about, go fishing with your dad. And you might think you don't have time, but you know what? One day you won't be able to go fishing with your dad ever again. And it's about making the most out of every moment with all of our loved ones. And isn't that something that, even if you hadn't been, friends with Charlie or knew him or had anyone, obviously with something as horrific as this gone through it, I'll just tell you that I had tears streaming down my face.
Yeah.
When he played that, just standing there back behind with everybody, because it hit me in a way that I wasn't expecting.
It hits you in your soul.
And it was like feeling it all over again.
Yeah.
But it was in a good way, in a very good way.
I think that as people who acknowledge and care for the soul, that there is something that when you can't really put words to it, when you try to explain it and you just can't quite get there, that means that it's in the heart and it's in the soul. And that to me shows that there is something that is elevated above the mind, the intellect, trying to figure out the numbers of all of the context of what you're talking about is so incredibly wholesome. It's so incredibly needed right now in our American culture. I say that as a mom, not as a talk show host, but you wrapped it all up in this halftime show and you gave people an option. That's really all it really was just an option, just a choice, not forced upon anybody. And tens of millions of people showed up and said, I'm choosing this. And I have watched the numbers. They've gone up, obviously, since it aired live. People are still interested in it. What was a measure of success? Before this happened, I would be thinking, oh my God, I hope people watch this thing. I hope that this ends up materializing into something that makes a mark. What did success look like to you before going into this actual air living?
It's hard to say. I suppose, that whole weekend leading up to the actual show. I mean, I'll put it this way. I can remember Charlie, and I don't know if I ever told this story publicly, but right before we would do, an AmFest or a student action summit, that usually the week before, suddenly he's calling you, he's texting you. Promote the event. We gotta fill it up. We gotta get it up there. And I would remember thinking, Charlie, we'll be fine. And I would go to the tickets, the ticket counter and say, are we good? They say, yeah, we're good. We're sold out. We're fine. I say, it's fine. So, and I was wondering, why is he so worried? We're going to be fine. This weekend, that was me.
You had
because I'm sitting there going, and we had no way to tell really if people were going to be looking for it. But we were doing I'll put it this way, we were doing some searches, looking at Google search trends, seeing and we saw it ticking up. We really, Saturday we saw it started ticking up, and then Sunday it started spiking, and all the board looked green. I'll put it that way. There were no real red lights, and a couple of fires you saw that you had to put out. And for example, we lost the ability to stream on X because we were at the very last minute told about a licensing restriction that we didn't even know about, specifically for X, by the way, that had nothing to do with with YouTube and others. And so we're telling people, oh my gosh, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we just lost X, people are going to see this thing. But it ended up being actually, and this is why I know it's God's grace, and I know I'm so humbled because I know it's not us, because I think that was one of the pieces that really drove people to YouTube. And then that bigger number saying, oh, well, you can't get it on X, you have to go to YouTube. That led it to it becoming the #2 U.S. YouTube live stream of all time, the #1 worldwide YouTube live stream, or excuse me, number 2 worldwide of all time, #1 U.S., beat every U.S. entertainment, sports, you name it. This was #1. And that's how I know it's just it reminded me that, sometimes you just have to put things in God's hands, and things aren't in my control. And so, look, we saw those Google trends. We saw the media was writing about it. I'll tell you just one of the pieces, an anecdote, right? But, if I was in an Uber, I'd say, hey, you hear about that other halftime show, the Kid Rock? And they would say, yeah, we heard about it. And then I noticed Billboard Magazine and Forbes were writing, here's how to watch the Turning Point halftime show. And I said, wait a minute, those guys know that there's SEO money to be had here, because they wouldn't be writing those articles if people weren't searching for it.
Yep.
And they weren't attacking us. They weren't smear pieces, hit pieces, which, don't worry, we got plenty of those too. But I realized they're trying to catch the traffic because they know that's what people are searching for, because a lot of these digital companies, that's what they look for. And so if people are searching for it, that means there's an audience. And we knew we were going to get an audience. We had no idea it would be that big. We had no idea.
It's incredible. Jack Posobiec speaking with us right now. You've worked with Turning Point and so incredibly closely with Charlie Kirk. And I don't think I've spoken to you here on the show since Charlie Kirk passed. And I just want to give you an opportunity to talk to our listeners. That all unfolded here live while we were on the air, and we were getting notifications that something had happened. And then, we went through it like everybody did, just in real time. And I think about what you're saying. Like, you have to understand that God is there and God is in charge and God has his hand in it. My favorite Bible verse, Psalm 46:10, says to be still and know that I am God, which is like, Annie, calm down, sit down. I've got this. Like, for the last time, I've got this. Turning Point is in great hands. There's a bright future for it. Talk to us about what you want people to know about Turning Point and the mission going forward.
Well, look, people, for folks watching, look, this was a blow that no one saw coming. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a massive loss, because it was both professionally, personally, politically, socially, culturally, every measure, like every single measure. And it's something where, your whole world changes in an instant, and you realize that this is normal now, that And I just want people to know from that personal perspective that, this isn't something that's just another news cycle for us. This is something that, this was our friend. This was somebody that we talked to every single day, someone that we would collaborate with and come up with ideas with, and hey, what do you think about this? And every single day I'll pick up my phone and I'll start. Even still today, I will start writing texts to Charlie, and then it kind of hits me. Oh, right, he can't answer, at least not this way, and it never leaves you. You never stop thinking about it, and at the end of the day, okay, we had the biggest show and the viewers, et cetera, and as much as and as amazing as God's glory is there. There's like a little voice in the back of my head that says, I'd trade all of it. I would trade all of it in a second, all the whatever. I don't need followers. I don't need anything. I just rather have my friend back. And I know that's not the most eloquent thing to say, but it's just true. It's just the truth, is that, it's not, nothing can make up for that kind of loss. But what you do is you keep going and you put your best foot forward. And I think this was the first event that we've held since then, where we're showing that we can be positive again, and we can stay on mission, and we can fight for the things that Charlie fought for, and the things that Charlie died for: faith, family, freedom, loving your country, just having a display of patriotism where we can all come together and say, you know what, I'm proud to be an American. I love my country. I don't hate my country. And something else? We love Jesus Christ. And gosh, isn't that a great message? And I hope my kids watched, and I hope lots of kids watched that. My wife said to me, for the first time in a long time, I'm watching a halftime show where my finger wasn't over the button on the
Just in
remote
case.
to, turn it off.
Yeah.
Because, we have little eyes, and it's something where, people have to realize, with Erica's leadership as the cornerstone of the organization, who stood tall when the gates of hell were all around us and the forces of hell were all around us, that this is something where the storm is going to be pushed through. This organization is going to continue. The student Chapters are expanding like crazy. The numbers have been through the roof. I don't even try to track them anymore because it just keeps going up and up. And we're demonstrating now that we have the proof of concept to be able to carry out, again, just carrying that vision that Charlie gave us in our hearts and in our minds is something that certainly I'm going to be trying to do every single day.
Well, we're here to support that. And I as somebody who's followed this, just as, a person who cares about the country, which is Turning Point is just collecting those people and giving them an alternative, an option to be around people, to be connected to people who are like, yeah, I'm not really okay with the way things are going right now. They do need a turning point. It's already been massively successful, but I think you're doing very well. You and the team at Turning Point, Erica and everybody, just incredibly glad that the pedal is down to the floor and that you haven't been hindered at all in your mission.
Look, the worst thing we could do for Charlie's legacy would be to stop the mission, would be to quit, would be to go home and say, well, the fight was too hard, so we're going to give up. No, that's not how you honor Charlie. You honor Charlie by getting in the fight, staying in the fight, and not giving up on the United States of America, and we certainly don't intend to.
Amen. Jack Posobiec, thank you for the time today. Thank you for being a part of that halftime show. Our listeners overwhelmingly watched it, and we look forward to the next one.
All right, God bless. And look, we threw that together with 3 months of planning, so just wait till you see what we can cook up in a year.
Amen. We will be watching. Jack Posobiec, come back again. We'd love to have you.
God bless. Thank you.
God bless you as well. Thank you to Jack Posobiec. He is the senior editor at Human Events. You can see the show on Real America's Voice, and he is on, if you're talking about front lines of the culture battle and the political battle that we have right now, he is there, front line.
That's very true, and that was also really refreshing.
Yeah.
Usually,
isn't there hope?
They're not always the same thing. They're not synonyms.
In his tone, his tenor, his message, there is hopefulness, which I do think is probably the A1 thing that Charlie Kirk brought. Like the happiness, the brightness of talking about family. Go have as many kids as you can. Get married and have babies. Have you seen the video of this woman in Australia? She's young. She's maybe she looks like she's in her early 20s. And she's holding a newborn baby.
No, I haven't.
Brad, you're saying you've seen it?
Yes, I have.
She is sobbing.
Yes.
And she's like, I need one right now. And this is a woman who apparently was not really necessarily thinking like kids, but just the element of holding this tiny baby. She couldn't even look at it. I'll throw the video up here in the break so we can kind of look at it. But if you haven't seen it yet, if you get on X, you're going to see it. It's just incredible. It's just this young woman. I'm telling you what, that biology that sets in when you're around babies. I'll still see a newborn baby. There was a baptism at church on Sunday. Adorable baby, great family. And I'm looking at that baby and I said to my husband, I go, do you want another one of those? And he's like, which usually it's yes. And I've told him I don't want. I would have more babies if I didn't have to have them. But there's just something, it's biological, it's undeniable. As a woman, when you see that baby, I don't know that it would have the same effect on a man. But that woman was her biology engaged. Somebody needs to wife her up. All right, let's take a quick break. Ethan Sports and Local next. Thank you to Jack Posobiec for joining us to talk about the halftime show that he was a part of producing with Turning Point. Ethan, next. Don't go away. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. Matt Hayes is waiting for your phone call. Make sure you ring him at 314-271-9900 and tell him Annie sent you. He is the guy. When you want a guy who's in the business of fixing, repairing foundations, you want Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repair. He's a local guy, family-owned and operated business, and he's the best. because I say so. 314-271-9900. Of course, for your wet basement concerns, you want an expert who's going to fix it right the first time. Lifetime warranty comes along with that basement waterproofing system that he can bring into your home. But for other foundation repairs that you might have, concerns you might have, cracks you might have noticed, uneven concrete and the walkways in your house, all of these different types of things he can help you with. You need to give him a call at 314-271-9900 and have him come look at what you've been dealing with and give you a solution, one that you can rely on at a fair price. His name is Matt Hayes, and his phone number is 314-271-9900. Hit him up online at homeshieldfoundationrepairs.com.
So the YouTube live chat poll today is, has President Trump been exonerated in the Epstein Files? A couple comments here I'll highlight. One from Chris says, yes, zero evidence that he did anything. And I go on the side of innocent until proven guilty. G. Willikers says, both sides are equally obtuse about the Epstein Files. What do you think about today's poll? We'll give the results in less than a half an hour before Mark Reardon takes over at 3. It is 2:29. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
$98 furnace tune-up.
JerryKelly.com. Annie Fry is St. Louis conservative.
Hold up. Check it out.
Sports and local.
Durfin Doniford's Dumpy Doos.
Oldie but a goodie.
That's a top 5.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Durfin.
Thank you very much.
Give us some Dumpy Doos.
Imagine
Wiggins?
Jack Posobiec still listening.
I hope he is.
I
Smoking a pipe and going, ha ha, Dumpy Doos.
smoking a pipe. He's probably more of a cigar guy.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a celebration for being done with the show for this.
Talk to me about Andrew McCutcheon. Talk to me right now.
Andrew McCutcheon? Okay.
Do you have anything on that?
Didn't have that planned, but sure, I can talk to you about Andrew McCutcheon.
I am begging.
What do you want to know about Andrew McCutcheon?
I just want him to come be a Cardinal. And Matt Pauley responded to me on Twitter last night with an incredibly thought out, rational, reasonable reason why I don't know so much, Annie. And I was like, I didn't think about it. This is a heart
You just
thing
wanted
here.
to make it happen.
I want a veteran, and I want to pretend like Andrew McCutcheon's has been ours all along.
So for those that don't know, Andrew McCutcheon spent the large majority of his career playing with the Pittsburgh Pirates and has had a very, very good career.
Illustrious.
Good. Thank you. You
could make illustrious.
I don't know if he's going to be a Hall of Famer necessarily.
First ballot.
No.
If he puts on the birds on the bat, I think it might do it.
Maybe.
Wouldn't it be funny if he entered as a Cardinal?
He enters as a Cardinal. Yeah, because he gets to 900 home runs as a Cardinal.
Matt Pauley from KMOX had something about like he started 7 games in the outfield last year, and that's why we shouldn't sign him as an outfielder. And I was like, Matt, come on.
These are dumpy dues from the heart, though, for Annie, because I remember a younger Annie, like a 2 years ago Annie, getting real wrapped up in the idea that Shohei Ohtani was going to come to St. Louis.
I offered the St. Louis Arch
and
for him.
you offered the Arch.
And the Rams money.
So I think this is in that category.
He's making pretty close to the amount that the Rams settlement was.
Ohtani?
Yeah.
I know. It was a great plan.
He's making $700 million.
And the Arch.
Here. What?
I thought it was a
Plus
fair
the Arch?
offer.
No,
yes.
I think that's fair.
The Arch goes all the way down underground. It's kind of like an O.
Yeah, it does. That's a fact.
Just put a line across it for the A in Ohtani.
Yeah.
The Cardinals currently don't really have a left fielder, and that is where the case can be made.
What is the worst that could happen? We win 75 games?
Oh, that's probably going to happen either way.
Well, hear me out. I think we're onto something.
Andrew McCutcheon has spent the last couple of years after going to a couple of different teams back with the Pirates. Well, they just signed a former Cardinal as well, Marcell Ozuna. And because of that, a lot of people don't think that McCutcheon is going to be returning to Pittsburgh because he's in probably what will be his last year of his career. He wants to play.
He changed his profile picture to be maybe a logo of his brand or
correct.
something like that, and his location is Florida. He was like, deuces, Pittsburgh.
He was a
because he feels
he's
that's
a little salty. He's a little hurt.
He has a right to be.
I get both sides of it.
Pittsburgh is the saltiest of salty organizations. They figured out how to be profitably mediocre.
They have terrible ownership. They have some of the worst ownership in Major
And I
League
told
Baseball.
Matt Pauley that obviously if we sign Andrew McCutcheon in his last year, that Skeens will come next.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're
makes
really
perfect
getting
sense.
somewhere.
When I get fired from this job, I might apply to work for the Cardinals. Don't send them this tape.
So
keep this one off the table.
Andrew McCutcheon, future St. Louis Cardinal?
Yes.
Probably not.
Maybe.
But we'll just have to wait and see, I
Wouldn't
guess.
it be
'cause
fun?
The Cardinals certainly will need to figure out who is going to be their left fielder come opening day. It likely won't be Lars Nootbaar because he is still recovering from the double heel surgery that he had earlier in the offseason.
Sign him.
They should have traded Nootbaar.
We can't offer him
been hurt.
the Arch.
No value.
We could maybe give him a giant key to the city.
How about one Emos?
One pizza?
A franchise.
Oh,
a store. A place where he can eat meals.
What if St. Louis hosted a furry convention?
Nope.
I've
been.
That
I've been.
would be intriguing. Now we're getting somewhere.
Would that bring him here?
Now we're real.
Andrew McCutcheon, the Arch, I don't know, but the furries will talk.
Is he strongly connected to furries?
He has a great day on Furry Day weekend. Do you remember when I went?
I
remember some things,
went to Pittsburgh. July 4th weekend, I believe it was. I think I was there. I think I went to the Pittsburgh Cardinals game on July 4th. I think Cardinals won in extra innings. One game in Pittsburgh, then my husband and I drove to Washington, D.C., stopped at the 9/11 Pennsylvania Memorial. What's the town?
I don't know the town, but I know what you're talking about.
You know it if you hear it.
Flight 93.
Shanksville.
Yeah.
Stopped. So we wanted to drive from Pittsburgh to D.C. so that we could go and stop at that one because I had already been to the D.C. Memorial, the Pentagon, and the one in New York. So I've been to all three now, and so has my husband. And on my flight there, leaving Lambert Airport in St. Louis, I rode flew in that plane with probably 12.5 furries.
In costume.
One of them was in full costume. Boarded the plane in a bright orange costume with his furry head on.
The others you just presumed were furries?
You could tell.
Okay.
There were signs.
Okay.
I say that out of respect, Ryan.
I don't think you do. I think you're saying these people are all pimply weirdos.
I didn't say anything about that.
Okay. All right.
There was a furry convention. It's the biggest furry convention. It's in Pittsburgh, and Ethan can attest that Andrew McCutcheon hits extremely well, has a great offensive performance when the furries are in town. And he will, so I immediately, I'm like, what's going on? Because I saw the guy in the furry costume sitting at the gate at Lambert Airport. It was like gate 30 something. It was the one that was like Southwest, but way around the bend. And he's sitting there, but he had his head in the chair next to him.
Was the body language sad?
He seemed pretty okay. And then, so I'm like, what's going on? Like, what? Why? So I start doing what I do. I start researching. What's the natural thing you do is you just Google Pittsburgh furries. Come to find out, it's the National Convention of Furries. And it was a whole event. And then I read all of the rules of what you were allowed to do and not allowed to do as a furry. I'd learned. But all these people were going on there. And then, but while I was searching, I went onto Twitter and typed in furries Pittsburgh. And like one of the first tweets that came up was Andrew McCutcheon's. And it just said all capitals with about 12 R's and a lot of exclamation points. Furries! And I was like, what's happening? What am I walking into? And apparently he celebrates the furries because he hits well when they're in town.
So this is all true. I can confirm this.
Not making it
I
up.
have his numbers through 2023.
Just on furry weekends?
On furry weekends, Andrew McCutcheon batted .392.
That's not bad at all.
That's really good.
We should sign those numbers. I mean, that's all I need to know.
He's hit 4 home runs.
This guy's hitting almost 400.
Would you say that he's the Joe DiMaggio of furry conventions?
I don't know that anyone else would fight him for it.
Very good argument for it. I'm looking at a tweet right now from
He completely owns it.
2023 that says just furries. Nothing special to it. No capitals. No extra R's.
Find
no
the one
exclamation. Just furries. It
that
has
I
4
saw.
million views though. And this article that I'm reading from Axios Pittsburgh says that that he doesn't, like you said, it's not just like a one-time post, that he has posted
It's
the
an
word
annual
furries
thing.
periodically when the convention is in town. So
It's, I think, July 4th weekend.
also, if you just look up Andrew McCutcheon on Google, the fourth thing that comes up is Andrew McCutcheon furries. So
say no more.
This is not a small thing. This is widely known.
Come to St. Louis, Andrew. We want you here.
I want to meet the person who started that convention. Because they had two thoughts. One, I want to dress up like an animal and do things in the costume.
No, you
Second,
can't. I read the rules.
I want to do it in Pittsburgh. And I want people to join me.
Man, Pittsburgh is such a beautiful city, too. Oh, it's stunning.
Okay.
Stunning city.
It's the character of the city that
It's
makes
so
it so
amazing.
beautiful.
There is no better city reveal than coming out of the tunnel in the mountains. And when you go into Pittsburgh, you're just like tunnel, tunnel, tunnel. Pittsburgh! It's so...
Did you say Pittsburgh?
No, Pittsburgh.
Yes, you did.
You said Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Well, I don't like the way they're treating Andrew McCutcheon. He's my boy.
Yeah. Take that.
I want him on our
Pittsburgh.
team. Birds in the bat. And if you go back and you look at Andrew McCutcheon's tweets, did you see what he said about the Cardinals?
No.
Search it up right now. Just put in Cardinals Wainwright and see what he said there, because he
I'm just supposed to search Cardinals Wainwright on Twitter?
on
And
his
McCutcheon.
his tweet, because you can read it verbatim. He was reacting to what the Pirates were doing and how the Pirates were treating him, and in highlighting how he was being treated, he actually talks about the Cardinals. Do you have it?
Mm-mm,
Okay, I'll find it.
So he's a class act, is what you're saying, and the Joe DiMaggio of furry conventions.
I said part of that.
It's pretty impressive.
Do you have any more stories?
All
I
of it happened
really
in
hijacked
Pittsburgh.
this.
I think that's probably it.
Well, it depends. Do
Didn't
you
say Pittsburgh.
Do you want to talk about his conversation with Adam Wainwright or no?
This is your segment. I'll go where you go. You lead me here.
We got a text here that says furries have an annual convention in St. Louis.
Don't. When? Is it during the season?
October.
October baseball. October baseball. October baseball. That's all we've needed. We've needed Andrew McCutchen, the Furries, in October.
This says we saw them at Westport Plaza a few years ago.
I wish you could see in your car while you're listening to the show right now how disgusted Ethan is right now. Look at him. He's so disappointed.
I love that you said I lead the segment where the first thing that started this segment was, tell me about Andrew McCutchen. Tell me about Andrew McCutchen. What's he gonna do?
I just
want to
make.
Is he a furry? Does he like the furries?
I just want to make you feel good about yourself.
Does Fredbird
I don't
count?
feel like I'm succeeding. Uh-oh.
No. I'm going to go back to the text here. Same text. It says they were very agreeable to talk to at Westport Plaza about their costumes. Just don't call them mascots.
What's the first thing that Ryan's going to call him when he sees him?
I guess they turn on you.
Mascot.
What would Fredbird dress up as at a furry convention? That's a
person.
question. You think you dress up as a
An
person?
An accountant.
Or a suit.
He does that.
The button up with the tie and the short sleeves.
Where he like pushes his butt forward.
Oh, yeah.
There's that little move, but with no costume.
Andrew McCutchen, January 24th, tweets, I wonder, did the Cards do this? Wainwright, Pujols, Yachty, Dodgers to Kershaw, Tigers to Miggy. The list goes on and on. If this is my last year, it would have been nice to meet the fans one last time as a player, talk to them about my appreciation for them over the years, shake that little kid's hand, or hug that fan that's been a fan since Clemente. You see, this is bigger than baseball, bigger than looking at a 40-man roster and cherry-picking numbers that fit your agenda or prove why your opinion matters. The fans deserved, at the very least, to get that opportunity. I don't know what the future holds for me at the present moment, but what I do know is though I'm 39, I'm on the back end of my career, I still work every day to be better than I was the year before. If there wasn't a burning desire to continue this journey, I would be home surrounded by my family in which no one would judge me or be surprised, but not yet. There's more work to do, and I'm not done. No matter what label you try to stamp on me, rip the jersey off of me, you don't get to write my future. God does.
I'm gonna,
Let's go!
I'm in.
October Furry Baseball in St. Louis this year.
I'm going to give a very quick why it's fair and why he's being ridiculous. Here's why.
Oh, don't rain on our
here we
parade.
go, nerd.
I'm going to.
All right, nerd.
Here is why it is fair for him
Here
to be
comes
frustrated.
Dumpy Doos.
The Pirates have sucked. The Pirates have sucked for a long time.
Professionally sucking.
And Marcell Ozuna is not going to make them insane worlds better to where they're going to be a playoff team next year. Here's why it's ridiculous. He's 39, and they signed him in 2023, and he's been a Pirate the last 3 years. So you could have argued that was their purpose in 2023 behind signing him, that it has been for him being there the last 3 seasons. So to say that he needs one more, I think personally is a little bit silly. Like I said, I get both sides of this, but to say that he's completely like owed the right to have another season there, I think is silly when his numbers have really
I
teetered
think
off.
you hate baseball.
Yeah.
Andrew McCutchen is the next Julio Franco, and
I
he's
would
got
like-
10 more years in him.
I would like to point out that we gave Adam Wainwright one more year.
Adam Wainwright was really good the year before his final year.
he
So
wasn't garbage.
He had a really good year in 2022.
No. McCutchen.
We just got to get to 3.
Give
Okay,
me
yeah.
Arch.
Do you want me to actually share a story, or did we just spend this whole time talking
Ethan,
about
I don't
a
like
player
your
with
tone.
zero connection to St. Louis?
Yet.
So far?
Yeah. We could give him that send-off that he desires.
Here's before we go to break.
I don't even care if he does it in a Pirates jersey.
I just want to pass this word along to the
Have
people.
Fredbird dress up like a Fredbird pirate the entire season.
I just want to communicate this with the people.
Okay.
This was not my intention for this segment. I just want to make sure that the people know that
Are you
this
talking
is not
about?
on me.
Are you talking about
Sports? The
your-
people
your
come here
future
at
profession?
Are you talking
2:15
past us right now?
expecting sports and local, and they got Andrew McCutchen furries.
I think he's trying to deny
That's
us.
quality
We are your
entertainment right there.
colleagues.
Not for long. He's trying to level up.
Yes, he is.
I always tell him, remember the little people when you get big. And he's trying to erase this from his resume, but
No.
I'm going to make sure this sticks.
Yeah, this is going to be.
And he's like, I'm going to make it my personal mission to ruin your life.
This is a paid post.
With
Hey,
furries.
listen,
this whole segment.
I'm going to clip this, and when you get your first big job, I'm going to send it to you as send it to them as their way of introducing
Just
you.
tag all the things that we do in this segment with McCutchen Furry, so when people Google that, it comes up with this.
Yeah.
And add in the tags Ethan Hannaford.
Ethan Hannaford, and then Dumpy Doos has to be right under that.
Ethan, you want to close this out with a real report?
Do you want me to?
Yeah, you're in charge, man.
No,
This is your segment. We're just here.
Gosh, I've never been more gaslit in a segment than this one in my life.
Why? Are
Holy
you serious?
moly.
You sit next to Ryan every day.
It's very
It's pretty
true. And he
gassy
is
over
pretty
there.
gas. Oh, you stole it from me. Dang it.
That's only funny because it's true.
St. Louis City SC has unveiled a new secondary kit. This got released last night, and it pays homage to, get this, Tina Turner. Have you guys heard anything about this?
It's about time.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Rolling.
Yeah. It's
So
gotta be a river thing, right?
I'm putting a picture up of it on the stream, but we'll describe it as well. It is all gold, and
I've never seen anything more St. Louis
the
in my
shorts are solid gold, and the jerseys
You know who'd
are
look good in that?
kind of.
Andrew McCutcheon.
Oh my gosh!
I wasn't going to say that. That's crazy.
How would you describe that jersey color, Annie? It's kind of like metallic-y.
I would suggest that it is shades of gold, and it.
Metallica.
Yes, I think it's fantastic.
It looks like a dress.
Well, this is going to
That guy
be
looks like Lars Ulrich.
This is going to be the secondary jersey this year. It's still going to have the Purina sponsor, the Adidas logo, the St. Louis City logo. But yeah, they are paying homage to Tina Turner. There's actually a picture of her on the bottom right corner of the jersey. It's hard to tell from the picture that's being
I don't get
shown
the
right now.
connection to Tina
I
Turner
don't
with the gold
because
jersey.
understand it either.
Absolutely has St. Louis connections. I don't know if
Sure.
she was from St. Louis or the guy she was with who was abusive. What's his name?
Ike.
Turner. Yeah.
Here's what I can tell you. It says Turner's history with St. Louis dates back to her arrival in the city at age 16. She graduated from Sumner High School in 1958 and was later honored with a star on the St. Louis Walk of Fame in 1991. It says beyond the soccer field, a limited time Turner pop-up shop has opened at the City Foundry. The shop showcases artifacts from Turner's personal collection, including a Grammy Award and one of her performance dresses. I wonder if the dress is gold.
Mm-hmm.
The celebration of
sparkly gold.
The celebration of Turner's career also includes a collaboration with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra, which is scheduled to perform a tribute concert at Powell Hall on Sunday, February 15th.
Ethan, you are a pro.
There will be a Tina Turner inspired theme night at Energizer Park on Saturday, August 22nd.
Do you think that McCutcheon's a Tina Turner fan?
I think he's a furry fan.
He's no. I don't know if that's a fair correlation. I think just the mutual presence
Tweets a
is
lot about him.
He does. And it's good that he does.
Let's do the next segment on whether or not he has ever tweeted about Tina Turner.
We'll check in the
Or
break.
Ike.
We'll be right back. Don't go away. AirComfortService.com. Your comfort zone's probably a little bit closer right now. Real feel on my phone says 56 degrees. Lovely. Is your furnace doing the trick this winter? Do you know that your air conditioner was running on its last leg? Especially you folks who are making the decisions for the business that you work in. If you have an HVAC problem, you have an air comfort solution at the other end of 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. You can call Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation to get a free second opinion on heat exchanger or compressor repairs. They've provided residential and commercial heating and cooling services for 57 plus years. And Air Comfort Service is ready to take your phone call. Make sure you mention the Annie Fry Show when you give them a ring. Residentially or commercially, if you've got an issue with your HVAC system, reach out to Air Comfort Service and they will come assess the situation. Like I said, hit you up with that free second opinion so you can make an educated and responsible decision on how to get back into your comfort zone and fast. 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com. Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan, waiting for your phone call. 314-324-4440. Stewie's the best. I have myself been a customer twice of the Bagel Loan. I lowered my rate both times. The first time, the reason I did a Bagel Loan refinance, I bought my house in 2015. I think it was 2019 when I did the first refinance. Significantly lowered my rate in those 4 years because you remember rates were going way, way down. Then they went down even further, and a year later, I lowered it once again. Great rate in the 2s now for me. Those aren't really available anymore at this point. But I was able to take some cash out of the equity in my house, get a lower rate, and fix the deck on the back of my house. So if you're looking to buy a new home, if you're looking to refinance your current mortgage, shorten the term, maybe get a much lower rate and shorten the term. Maybe your payment stays the same and you just don't have to pay for 5-10 years on your house and whatever the length that is left on your mortgage. Or if you need to take some cash out to do some repairs, pay off some debt, whatever it might be. Call Stewie. 314-324-4440. Google the Bagel Loan. NMLS number 226715.
Fox News National, St. Louis Local, 97.1 FM Talk.
I told Ryan he needed to give the people on the stream a little show and dance like Tina Turner.
Said I don't know how.
You don't know how.
I don't know how. I really don't.
You never know how, but I thought you'd at least try. You said you don't even know what it looks like?
No. I know her dresses. I know that she's famous for
All right,
those.
well, tomorrow I'll just come in one of those.
All right, I'll come in a furry costume, and then I'll take
As
that
Tina
off,
Turner.
and I'll be in Tina Turner dress.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It costs a lot, too.
Everybody thought today was a big show.
Oh, no. Tomorrow.
Eric Schmitt, Catherine Hanaway, Michelle Tafoya, Jack Posobiec. Tomorrow,
same guests.
Ryan. No, they will never have anything to do with us again. Check the Annie Fry Show podcast if you want to get to some of those guests that we had on. It was lots to discuss, and certainly we covered quite a bit here. The YouTube live chat poll: has President Trump been exonerated in the Epstein Files? Yes, not yet, or no, the opposite of exonerated. Brad, your thoughts?
Yes, he has been exonerated.
Any reason why you say that particularly?
Yeah, I think that if he hadn't been, there would be tons of people talking about
the only thing we were talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm right on the verge of saying yes, but I'm going to say not yet, just because I don't know what else there could be.
I would say that I think I would vote not yet in this poll because the things that he's been accused of are so egregious, and he's sued people over and over and over again successfully for saying things that aren't accurate here. It's hard to say that he's been exonerated because I don't know that he's ever actually been accused of anything publicly that really actually matters. So innocent till proven guilty. 221 votes. 11% of you say no, the opposite. 31% say not yet. 58% said yep, he's been exonerated. Mark Reardon on 97.1 FM Talk next.